What's up, guys? Welcome to the First Podcast After Hours. Man, Wilson up.
Oh, oh yeah. Yeah, man. I told that nigga Cam, man. I told him. I said, Lakers ain't shit. They trash. They're gonna get beat by 20. They can't win a chip. They overrated. I'm a diehard Lakers fan, and I'm not delusional. This Lakers team is garbage. Garbage. You know what I mean? They garbage. I told that nigga. Shout out to everybody, who subscribed, the like button. If new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe, turn on post notifications. Please. I told people, I told Cam yesterday. Cam didn't want to listen. I tried to tell Cam, the Lakers are trash. The Lakers going to get beat by 20. That happened. The Lakers can't win the title. That's going to happen. This Lakers team is garbage. Anybody who believes in the Los Angeles Lakers, you're a straight retard. And I'm a diehard Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan for a very long time. I've been a Lakers fan damn near 30 years. I've been a Lakers fan since I was born in 96. So I was a Lakers fan really before Kobe. This Lakers team is trash. They ain't winning no titles. None of that. Now, if DJ got something to say, he can say it. This Lakers team is garbage. Anybody think they guys have to win the title? Put your money up. What's up, DJ?
Sure.
You ain't got nothing to say? I'm baking that much?
Uh,
Huh?
I ain't watched the game.
You don't have to watch the game to know Lakers trash. You don't have to watch the game to know they can't rebound. Should I keep going, DJ? Huh? Do you have to watch the game to know they can't shoot? Do you have to watch the game to know they can't play defense? Do you have to watch the game to know they got a 41-year-old LeBron James? Do you have to watch the game to know Luka Doncic can't guard me 1-on-1? I'm just saying, bro, this ain't rocket science. The Lakers are fucking garbage. Where the fuck is Cam? Bring your ass in this panel. Don't you duck the night, nigga. Bring your bitch ass in this panel. Need to bring his fucking ass. And I'm a Lakers fan, but I can't be delusional, bro. I can't stand people who are delusional. Nigga Cam is fucking delusional. Delusional ass nigga. Now he wanna duck and hide and shit.
Wait, who they play against?
I'm not talking about when they play again. I'm saying what I said yesterday.
No. I said who they play against.
The Celtics. It don't matter who they play against. They garbage. And I told Kim this yesterday. He won't listen. Oh, it's going to be a good game. The Lakers can win a title. That's how he was talking. Cam, if I was you, I would quit on the Lakers. Like, it's okay to be a Lakers fan, but let's be realistic. Like, I love the Lakers too. But I ain't going to sit here and act this team can win a title when they can't, bro. They can't defend. They can't rebound. They can't shoot. They don't play together on both sides of the ball. We got two bitch-ass niggas complaining on one end while they getting dunks and threes on the other end. They can't even fucking guard Pritchard. Fuck out of here. You're telling me a team to let a white boy and Pritchard score 30 on you. You think Pritchard's gonna score 30 on Kobe? Hell no. You think he gonna score 30 on a Troy Reza? Hell no. You think he gonna score on a Metta World Peace? No. You think Derek Fisher gonna let him score it? No. I can keep going. I don't even think Kwame Brown let him score 30. Fuck out of here. I don't even think Smush Parker let him score 30. The fuck we talking about? Where the fuck is Cam?
Hey, Kwame Brown better than half their fucking roster.
Kwame Brown ain't the best player, but he's not gonna let Pritchard score 30. That's for damn sure. Smush Parker not giving him 30. Matter of fact, DJ Benga was the worst player on the Lakers back then. And he's not giving him 30. I'm sorry, bro. The Lakers are garbage. They is trash. This is why I don't watch Laker games. I stopped watching the games. I'm still going to support the team from far. I love the team. I'm going to live and die with the Lakers. But I'm not going to be delusional like Cam is. Cam is straight delusional. I've never seen a guy so delusional in my life to think the Lakers can win the title. No, the fuck they can't. They can't beat nobody good. Do you know, DJ? All the good teams we played against, they beat us. We played against the Rockets, a really good team, lost. We played against OKC.
Hey Cam,
a really good team,
you gotta hop on here and explain yourself. Cause how do you see them win a title, Cam? Hop on here and explain yourself.
He gotta explain, DJ, how can we win a title when we can't even beat the good teams? If we can't beat the Rockets, the Thunder, and Boston, how we gonna win the title? What? We can't beat the top teams. If we can't beat the Rockets, we can't, bro. We lost to the Thunder, and they didn't even have what's his name? SGA. You know that shit? They didn't have SGA, and they still beat us.
But you so the GOAT can't even beat their team even without SGA.
Even without their best player, bro. Even without their Finals MVP, DJ, their Finals MVP didn't even play, and we still lost to the Thunder. We lost to Boston, and guess what? They didn't have Tatum. They didn't have their second best player, Jason Tatum, and we still couldn't beat them. What'd that tell you, DJ? If we can't beat teams without their first, second best player, huh? How how's that championship material? Where's Cam? Bring your ass. We couldn't
Like
be
I
the
said,
Thunder, huh?
like I said yesterday too. Defense wins playoff games, and defense wins championships and rebounds.
Lakers can't even spell
That's the
defense.
formula.
They can't even spell. But here's the problem, DJ. If you can't spell defense, how you gonna play defense? I don't even think the Lakers can spell defense. You know what I'm saying?
LeBron can't spell defense. It's him.
No, but it's not just LeBron. It's not just LeBron though. It's the whole team. When I watched that Boston game back, bro, the Lakers are fucking cones on defense. It like little. You know what a cone is, DJ? Like you're having practice and you go around the cones. That's what these niggas was. Doors, where you at, Doors?
Yeah.
Luka
Doors.
can't play off the ball.
Let's talk about Doors. First, you got to touch on what did I tell Kim yesterday? What did I tell him? Did I not tell this nigga? We couldn't beat the Boston Celtics without Jason Tatum, right? We couldn't beat the Thunder. We cannot beat the Thunder without who? Who did not play in the Thunder game, Doris?
Hachimura?
No, the Finals MVP didn't play. The Finals MVP in the regular season MVP in SGA didn't even play, and they still beat us. Huh? And then you turn back around, you lose to Boston without Tatum. Now, tell me, Doris and DJ, how are we a championship team if we can't beat teams without their key players? It don't make sense. This team is garbage. And I told Cam, Doris and DJ, then I told Cam yesterday, we finna get beat by 20. I told the nigga. He's like, it's gonna be a good game. We can win a championship. And he wanted to argue with me. Am I lying, Doris? DJ wouldn't hear. Am I lying, Doris? He argued with me for an hour about how the Lakers can win a title and how they can compete with Boston. And he's talking to a Lakers fan. I'm a real Lakers fan. Cam is a LeBron fan. I'm a real diehard Lakers fan. But I can't sit here and have this team win.
See, Mike, you can't have legitimate arguments for LeBron fans. That they are delusional. They're not in touch with reality. Any LeBron fan is fucking delusional.
Delusional as hell. Yeah, I can't argue with LeBron fans. LeBron fans are like cocaine. LeBron fans are like a person that smokes cocaine and they can't stop. Literally, they like LeBron fans. I hate to say this, they literally dick ride LeBron at an all-time high. And it's not even funny. It's bad.
It's not even that they like LeBron. It's just that they hate Jordan and they hate Kobe, and they trying to make LeBron better, look like he better than them. It's obvious LeBron can't hold their fucking job.
You think Kobe Bryant will let? You think? Look, even a washed-up Kobe, do you think he gonna let Pritchard score 30 on him? Hell no. He gonna foul the fuck out his ass. He gonna throw him on the fucking ground and tell him shut up.
Ooh, I wish Cam hop on this mug. Pause.
I ain't gonna lie, DJ.
Cam?
I would never let Pritchard score 30 on me. Where the hell's Doors? I wouldn't let Pritchard score 30 on me, DJ. I'll foul the fuck out of his ass. You ain't scoring 30 on me. I'm sorry. You got me always banned. I'll be damned if I give a white short ass boy 30. The fuck? This ain't no fucking Doug Christie, my nigga. This ain't no Mike Bibby. The hell? This ain't no fucking Allen Iverson. What the hell we doing? You let Pritchard score 30. Of all people? And you say you're going to win a championship like that? We let a sick bro, DJ, we let a bench player score 30. How is that championship material? A bench player got 30 in the Lakers. Not even a star. A bench player.
I mean, LeBron got the whole fucking franchise wrapped around his finger. So he can't
Wrapped around his ball sack. He got it wrapped around his ball sack.
Can't nobody say shit. The players can't say shit. The front office can't say shit. I bet you, like, nobody gets the final say.
I don't think Cam coming tonight. I guarantee you he's not gonna come on. He's not gonna come tonight. Cam a LeBron fan, so he's in delusion. Like LeBron fans think LeBron can still win. Bro, this Lakers team is trash. Talk about being garbage. And that's why Doris is quiet. Doris feel bad for Cam. That's why he quiet. He's done. Cam talk all that shit yesterday.
You should have bet money, Mike, on this game.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Shit, I'll bet somebody right now the Lakers ain't going to the finals. Shit, I'll make this some quick cash.
Hey DJ man, saying Lakers is gonna
that's easy $50 right there.
Hey DJ, saying Lakers gonna win the title is like saying I can get pussy whenever I want. Not unless you're a millionaire.
Nah, you don't need to be a millionaire to get it.
No. I got a better one. Saying Lakers win the title is like saying I can walk through a brick wall. No, the fuck I can. That wall gonna knock my ass down.
That one time at the All-Star game where LeBron had the opportunity to go one-on-one against Kobe and he passed the fucking ball. You know what I'm talking about?
Bro, let's not forget they're supposed to play each other in 09. And that nigga LeBron ducks Kobe. In 09 and 010. He ducked both times. The Lakers would have swept LeBron. LeBron's scared of Kobe. And that's why I hope the nigga gone all season. I don't give a fuck where he go. I don't care if you go to Africa or fucking Pakistan. Just go. And don't come back. And take your son with you. Take your son with you, please. Niggas be capping for this nigga, man. And you got niggas like Kawhi. You got niggas like Kawhi that fucking cheated for the Lakers. Because remember, the DJ, go watch that Clipper game. Kawhi was cooking the Lakers. Right? The game got real close. Tell me how Kawhi Leonard faked the ankle soreness late in the game when the game was getting good and left the game. And once he left the game, his team struggled after that. Isn't that suspicious? Yes, it is. But they be cheating for the motherfucking Lakers, boy. I'm telling you, Lakers is not a good basketball team at all. And you got LeBron fans just like, oh my god, LeBron. That nigga's done.
You only a LeBron fan if you soft.
Yep.
You gotta be one weak ass nigga to be a fan of LeBron.
Yeah, to be a LeBron fan, you gotta have some woman tendencies of some sort. I couldn't be no LeBron fan. I'm sorry. The nigga too soft. And then he in an interview with his gold chain. He talking all this. You talking about everything but the fucking game. If you watch LeBron interview, he didn't even want to talk about the damn game. You talking about this and that. Who gives a fuck? We want to know why. We want to know why you couldn't play defense. They asking LeBron about the Boston game. He talking about something totally different. What the hell? But this nigga crazy. You can't answer no questions. You got your gold chain on. Like, you trying to be flying shit, but nigga. And you let Pritchard score 30 on your team. You say you love Kobe, right? Didn't he say that, DJ? He loved Kobe? Somebody who loves Kobe? Hey, DJ, if you say you love Kobe, are you going to let Pritchard score 30 on your team?
Man, you letting Kobe down, man.
He letting Kobe down, bro.
Kobe rolling in his grave. Like this some bullshit. I mean, you let this go on for like what's been 7 years now? 6 years?
Yeah, last 6 years, yeah.
And all y'all got to show for it is a bubble ring.
No, not even a bubble ring. A Mickey Mouse ring. Disneyland ring. Disneyland.
Everything Kobe put into that franchise for 20 years. Blood, sweat, tears. And you let this shit happen. You disrespecting Magic, James Worthy. You disrespecting Kareem. You disrespecting Elgin Baylor, Jerry West.
He letting Kobe down big time. Kobe in his grave, like, what the fuck? And to make matters worse, this nigga LeBron let Pritchard score 30 in Kobe's house in LA.
Man. Damn.
That's even worse. That's worse. And look at LeBron on the court hugging everybody on the fucking court. This nigga hugging the whole Boston team. Man, fuck out of here. I ain't hugging the whole fucking team.
See, real basketball head is pissed off. This is a travesty. It's blasphemous.
Now, how can LeBron say he loved Kobe and you let Pritchard score 30? You let Jaylen Brown bake your team. You didn't fight for Kobe, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, DJ, that's like you having kids and somebody trying to take your kid and DJ, right? And you can't even defend your kids. How your kids gonna feel? They're gonna be like, damn, you couldn't even defend me. That's basically what LeBron did with Kobe. Kobe Bryant depended on you, and you didn't step up. You say you love Kobe, but Kobe Bryant, but you didn't fight for Kobe. That's shameful.
Hey, Doris, you there?
George is taking it all in right now.
Texas might be here like 2 o'clock. Texas don't want none of this smoke. I think LeBron has imposter syndrome of being a Laker. And he's self-sabotaged if he can't live up to that name. He can't live up to Kobe's greatness.
That's sad, bro.
And you know it.
I ain't letting Pritchard bury my team. And I say I love Kobe. Hell no. I'm gonna go out there and fight. Yeah, Cam. Bring your ass, nigga. No. Turn that game off, nigga. Bring your ass, nigga. Bring your ass, Cam.
Turn your microphone on, Cam.
Turn your mic on, nigga. Don't be quiet now. Don't be quiet now, Cam. What happened to the Lakers, man? They gonna win the championship, right? They gonna win the chip, right? What kind of chip they? Hey DJ, what kind of chip they gonna win? NBA 2K? They gonna win on NBA. You know what? They can't even win the chip on NBA 2K. Fuck that. They can't win on 2K. Niggas trash. Now that nigga quiet now. You hear the DJ? He out throwing. He quiet now. He ain't got nothing to say.
I don't hear a damn thing.
I don't hear nothing. All you gotta do, DJ, watch the live yesterday. That nigga wanted to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a line for y'all. I'm gonna put a line for y'all. For all the niggas that think Goat Mike is just bullshitting. Goat Mike is not bullshitting. I'm gonna put a line for y'all. Watch this. Hold on. I gotta take it off my speaker to show y'all the nonsense. Hold on, Dante. Before you get going, Dante, hold on. Let me see what part of the line. Was it in the beginning?
I hear crickets right now.
Yes, I was. So don't ask me no. Don't ask. Here it is, right here. Hold on. I think it's right. It's coming up. I'm getting to it. Hold on.
This year than we did last year when we played in the playoffs and last year in the regular season. Absolutely. But if you believe in the Lakers, and I can name four players right now. I can name four players right now. I don't believe in nobody. I don't believe. Fam, I can name four players right now. That's a given that made our team better this year. I'm gonna name it right now. This team is not better. I'm gonna name them right now. Marcus Smart. What teams the Lakers in right now? I'm gonna name them. Listen, I'm gonna name them right now. What teams the Lakers in right now? I ain't gonna be up here much longer, bro. So listen, I'm gonna name them right now. Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, DeAndre Ayton, and Luke Kennard. Those are four acquisitions that make our team better this year than we were last year.
I'm gonna pause it right. I'm gonna pause it right there, and I'm gonna look at Marcus Smart's stats for this game. The same guy said made the Lakers better. Let's see what these so-called guys that made the Lakers better. Let's pull the stats up. Marcus Smart. Do you know how many points he had, DJ and
How
Dante?
many?
Do you know how many points he had?
Yeah, 0. He was
That nigga
trash.
played 22 minutes at 0 points. He
That boy
said,
was a fucking double agent. Bum ass
he's
nigga.
hold on, Dante, hold on, Dante. He said Jake LaRavia made us better too, right? Do you know how many points he had in 24 minutes? That nigga had 4 points in 24
Yeah,
minutes.
Jake LaVere is fucking trash. I told you, Laker fans are the most motherfucking delusional
Oh
fan base in
damn!
all of sports. Hyping up bum ass Jake LaVere in the Big 26. The fuck out of my face with that weak ass
He
shit.
said,
Talking about some
he
goddamn
said,
Jake LaVere.
he said Luke
The way
Kennard.
they hyped them motherfuckers up, he was gonna be the next motherfucking second coming of Alex Caruso. The fuck out of my face.
That
Talking
nigga
about some
Luke Kennard.
motherfucking Jake LaVere. That motherfucker's sorry. Straight
That
basura, fucking trash. That's
that
why
nigga
Payne
said Luke.
Pritchard cooked them motherfuckers on Pat Riley appreciation night. Had that motherfucker Vanderbilt on the motherfucking floor touching earth. Him and Austin Sleeves and Fluke Adonis. He cooked all three of them motherfuckers. Drop a motherfucking 30-piece chicken McNugget special on their fucking heads. Fuck out of my face. Bum ass Lakers. Every time the bum ass Lakers face a good team, they ass get exposed. Fuck out of my face. The Celtics are the third seed in the fucking Eastern Conference without Jason Tatum. That's how you know they're a good fucking team. That goes to show you that general manager is a way better general manager than Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka is a fucking mid ass general manager. That's why the Celtics are better than the Lakers because the Celtics have a way better high IQ for talent than the Lakers.
Oh, shit, damn. Where the hell Cam? Why is Cam so quiet now, y'all? Does anybody know?
He probably left the room or something.
No, he right there. He right there with his cam on.
Or he probably not. He probably listened to the game.
No. That nigga was talking. DJ, he was talking mad shit. DJ, bro. If I play the rest of this shit, it's an hour long. He was going on and on and on. Dante heard the shit. He was going on and on for an hour straight, arguing with me about the damn Lakers. And the Lakers, bro, the guys you said made the Lakers better. Do y'all know that Luke Kennard, ask Dante, DJ, Luke Kennard got cooked every fucking play. He wouldn't get no stops. He wasn't really making no shot. Luke
Oh,
Kennard was
ask him
trying.
Sleeves, he got cooked too.
All them niggas was getting cooked. DeAndre A was getting cooked. The whole damn team. He talking about championship. They can't even win the chip on fucking 2K. How you gonna win it in real life? Shit's awful. I'm watching the game right now, DJ and Dante, and you know what I see? Lakers getting cooked. Lakers getting destroyed all over the place. They had Jared Vanderbilt trying to bring the ball to the fucking court. What kind of shit is that? Hachimura trying to bring the ball to the fucking court. What the fuck they doing? Pritchard hit deep ass threes from 40 on the Lakers. Come on, Lakers, fight back, Lakers. Come on, fight back.
Fight back, LeBron. Fight back, LeBron.
Oh, hey, DJ, hold on, DJ, give me your cell phone number so I can see you this clip. Bro, Jared Vanderbilt just got crossed so fucking bad. Jared Vanderbilt got crossed. Dante, have you seen Jared Vanderbilt get crossed up by fucking Pritchard?
Did you see Austin Reeves getting his ass crossed up? Had him getting crossed up. Was on one knee and shit, and then was complaining to the ref. Then had the three sprayed in his face. You watched that shit too.
I saw
You was
that
watching.
too,
I
man.
bet you was watching that shit too. You was watching that shit too.
Reason
Reeves
Leg
was
was
on
doing
one knee
good.
complaining and bitching to the ref. Then Payne Pritchard hit the 3 in his face. I know you watched that.
Yeah, it's bad, bro. Even LeBron was getting cooked too. LeBron was getting crossed too. And Luka. All the niggas was getting crossed. Bro, how are the Lakers getting crossed this bad, bro? This is awful. The Lakers getting crossed, sauce, they falling down. Dante, how they falling down like this, bro? This is terrible. DJ, man. DJ Dante, man. How the Lakers getting crossed like this, man? This is awful.
Cuz blame the leader.
LeBron can't even spell leader. How you gonna be a leader? You can't even spell it. You gotta be able to spell it first. Well, the Lakers, DJ and Dante, they should have called CPS on the damn Celtics. It was committing murder. It was committing murder in LA, bro.
And on Pat Riley Appreciation Night too. Motherfuckers got embarrassed by 20 plus on Pat Riley Appreciation Night.
What do you think Pat Riley was thinking watching this shit?
That motherfucker shit. The way the motherfuckers was getting embarrassed on live television, that motherfucker nearly had a heart seizure and shit. That motherfucker looked like he was about to pass out after watching that motherfucking travesty. Shit, that motherfucker looked like he was about to pass out. Shit, that motherfucker looked like he was about to go on a stretcher to the motherfucking ER and shit. With the way the motherfuckers getting crossed up, getting embarrassed and shit, and getting dropped on one knee and shit. Shit, that motherfucker looked like he was about to die right here, man. And this is the same team Laker fans was hyping up, saying they're gonna go to a championship. How the fuck you gonna win a motherfucking NBA championship? You can't even beat the Boston Celtics in your own building. Getting embarrassed on
Man,
Pat Riley Appreciation Night of all nights. But y'all supposed to be built to win a championship. The fuck out of here. You can't even beat Peyton Pritchard. But y'all supposed to win a championship. Fuck out of my face with that weak ass shit. I'm taking Payne Pritchard over Luka Doncic and Aston Sleeves. They both sorry.
Damn. Shit. I'm taking everybody over Aiden.
How Jared Vanderbilt is a 7-footer out here getting crossed up by a 6'2" Payne Pritchard.
Got crossed bad. But it was so bad. Oh my God. That crossover was nasty. That was the highlight of the year. Fuck the game.
And that motherfucker Austin Reeves was down on one knee, like he's about to assume the position and shit. Austin Sleeves is overrated.
Overrated. Dun, 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 dun. DJ, where you at, man? You're missing out on the bacon session, man. It's the bacon session of the Lakers.
Man, you can't even blame
Yeah, the
them
Lakers
that
is
much for real.
currently constructed. They ain't a championship contending team. They're a first
No,
round
they
exit
not.
waiting to happen. So they're not being Minnesota. They're not being Denver. They're not being San Antonio. They're not being Houston. They're not being OKC. Hell, they're not even gonna beat the goddamn Clippers in the 7 game series. Shit, if they match up against the goddamn Golden State Warriors, they probably getting packed up. Shit. If they gotta face the Dallas Mavericks in the 7 game series, well, they injured now, but if they was fully healthy, them motherfuckers would have got packed up. So Laker fans, they're stupid as hell. This goes to show you that Laker fans don't know lick of basketball. And this is the same team that Laker fans expect to win the championship. You're supposed to win a championship. You're supposed to be contending for a championship, but can't even beat a Jason Tatum-less Celtics team on Pat Riley Appreciation Night. So Lakers are overrated. Every time they face a good team, they get destroyed.
Destroyed. They lost to OKC without SGA too.
And they got cooked by the Spurs at home without Wembyamba.
Yep, and they lost to the Rockets.
Hey, Cam,
Look at Cam's in
Cam,
that
They only
team.
look good facing sub 500 teams. When they face 500 or better teams, they get demolished.
They
I'm
get
telling you,
beat
the Lakers are
today. Good
weak.
for
They're
them.
weak. They're weak. Nobody takes the Lakers seriously. Nobody except for Laker fans. Because Laker fans don't know basketball. They don't watch basketball. All they
That's
do
fact.
is watch, or they are Bucks score merchants. They don't watch the games. They're casuals.
Yep, just like Cam. Cam taught all that shit yesterday. He quiet today. He ain't got nothing to say now. He quiet as a mouse. We need a search warrant for Cam. That's how quiet Cam is. We need a search warrant. We need a wellness check. We need a wellness check for Cam, y'all. We need to send people over there and give him a wellness check. See if he all right. You know what I mean? Because depression is real. And Peyton Pritchard out here looking like Jordan against the Lakers. Terrible. Looking like Ray Allen. This nigga out here looking like Ray Allen against the Lakers. What? Ray fucking Allen? This was awful. The game was like, man.
There are 2 Democrats running for Senate in Texas. Jasmine Crockett is the only one being backed by Republicans.
Man, I feel bad for the Lakers.
Because they think that they can beat her. So with all that's at stake,
Kobe Bean Bryant is in his grave, thinking like, what the hell?
goal. Look at the block here by Cade. Is this the second time he's gotten LeBron? Right off the windshield. And Brown at the other end. This could be a potential 5-point swing here. And a technical foul on Remick. You see some of those Marcus Smart off the range and out there. It's livid right now. But he also understands right now he has to fight for his team. He sees them frustrated. He's listening to I'm in the fight with you. Brown took all the free throws. He was 7-10. He missed 2 in a row. Now he's a technical. He sends Sam Hauser. His absolute, that absolute should be goaltending, but he didn't touch the basketball.
LeBron was never built to wear purple and gold.
This was the exhibition of Luka Doncic. So now you can't. I'm not sure you're ready to keep it. Certainly what's against the rules.
They should have never let his ass become a Laker.
He said, what DJ?
I said they should have never let LeBron become a Laker. He's not built to wear purple and gold.
Yeah, but they allowed what is his name? The Queen James to, infest the Lakers. And that's what he did. And Kim over here talking about Lakers gonna go on a big run. Motherfucker, they not. They trash, bro. They ain't going. The only run they doing is running to their house. The only run they doing is to the bus to go home. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, why is Cam so quiet today, y'all? He talked all this shit yesterday. Now he quiet. I knew Cam was gonna be on hush mode. I knew it. I said he gonna talk all this shit. Lakers gonna lose. He gonna be quiet. I knew it. I seen it coming before it came. It's kind of like knowing a wolf's coming before the wolf get there and you get a head start. That was me on Cam. Lakers ain't winning no title. LeBron also retired. Call it up, man. Call it a day, bro. Why that nigga Cam crying? I'm about to watch my nigga who be working out and shit.
Now imagine them getting along.
It's sick that you guys. They texted me and we talking in next year. I looked at my phone and I said, nobody. Yeah, so that goes against everything that we stand for. They don't believe it. But y'all, welcome back to the channel. Look who I got over here for the intro today. If you believe it, he's on time. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm gonna say? Speak for yourself, nothing. Alright, word. Back to the one and only Diamond Jim. Here's about to get on another video. What are we training today, old man? Good news. Before we get into the video, I got a big announcement to you guys. Say thank you guys for the constant love, support, appreciation that you guys show us. You guys have allowed us to level up, to do more things, to create more, to become part of more. And we are blessed to announce that we have a new partnership with a supplement company, something that we've been looking into for a long time. We wanted something that matches our integrity, something that matches what we do, something that we can the product that we can align with. So shout out to Cage Supplements for looking out for the guys and not only taking care of me, but taking care of our entire team. Best quality ingredients. We've been trying it for a while. Best flavor, very, very good tasting. So it's something that I know y'all use as dry scooping. I'll be pouring. I got my bottle now. Pour it in the bottle. And shout out to Cage for looking out for us. They're gonna be fueling us for every single workout. Keeping us going. Unc and I are super excited about the partnership. It's a lot to come forward. You can use code Unc now. Live. You can use code Hotties and save 20% off. We're the only code on Cage that gives you 20% off. So save yourself some money, give yourself some subs. What's the one? Military? Stay right there. Hey, AJ. You know what? Let's do it this way. Hey, line them up, AJ. 125 double time. No problem. We'll discuss the rules while y'all doing it. Let's go. While y'all doing the purpose, pay attention. Pay attention. There's a couple rules. Don't break the rules. I'm only gonna say once. 2 pushes to each purpose. You did 1. Okay. Down. Keep going. No sitting down. No closing your eyes. No water throughout once the session starts. No water throughout the session. No getting on your knees during push-ups. No stopping before your set is over. No jewelry. No complaining. No side conversation. I just want to have a good workout today. I want to worry about nothing but training. So just follow the rules, please. If one pays the consequence, everybody pays, and I don't want to pay for y'all. So, that being said, follow it. Just want to be fun. Let's go. Come on, finish. Where we at? Let's go, buddy. That was the worst 200 we ever did. Good. I felt that for my shoulders, my wisdom teeth. Man, this is gonna be fun. So I'm not trying to record. Usually get on standard D-bar. D-bar is on equal, so you gotta make sure it's equal on both sides. Standard D-bar is for the inside top. You never get that top. Everybody gotta open up. Hey, what? Feel it now. Y'all all gotta open up the same way. In this gym, there's power in sounds, my boy. That's one of my first, last, or only points. When me and Uncle get too old, y'all gonna take the throne. So I need to make sure we leave in good hands. Me and Uncle at about that age now, we, starting to feel it a little bit. Yo, let's go! You got 35, bro. You get 2. So you got 33 more. Your hands go straight, not sideways. You looking at me for? You got 35. You did 2? You did 1? That's 34 plus 20 for your stop. So you go 54. Come on, bro. Come on, let's go. Get up. Get up. Keep fighting, bro. Keep fighting. I'll take it. Let's go. Come on. You better not. Hold up. You better not. Come on. Get up. You're too hot. Control anything you want to control. Man, 25 burpees? Right now, man. I like your shoes. You got a nice belt on. Double time. You know what double time means? It means 2 push-ups for burpees. How about? And we fucking get a discount. It's 35. On the knee. How many you did? You did like 30 or did 30? Yeah. So you got 5 more. That's plus your 20. Oh, you got 45 more plus your 20. That's 65. 65. Why you got 75? Stop. What's going on with him? He's supposed to be finishing up. He stopped? Where he at? Right here. Take my time, bro.
AI is changing everything. But that's your thing. Change. Life-changing frenzy into new. And that's how life is.
You need 2 people, though, right?
Correct.
Not
100%.
one.
100%. I'm not the type of girl that says I don't need a man.
Yeah, but I'm trying to still figure out how do we need women?
Same reason why women need men.
No, you guys actually do need us. We don't need you guys.
Why do we need you though?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why?
Okay.
Why do you think that men don't need you?
All right, let me, are we off, YouTube? All right, so, ladies, you do realize that, like, everything that you enjoy in the first world, whether electricity, water, food, everything, the nice buildings that you guys live in, the air conditioning, the entire infrastructure of the modern world, it's all run and created by men?
Women that work in the world?
No.
Okay, no, that's true. Women wouldn't do that, but listen.
Here, let me just give you guys my position and you guys can go ahead. Realistically speaking, women are useless outside of reproduction. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. When it comes to society and maintaining a society, the only value you guys truly provide to society is propagating the next generation. Outside of sex and reproduction, you guys are effectively useless. Now, go ahead and tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, many things, but let's start with men wouldn't even build a ship if they probably wouldn't be inspired by me or even back. Like, what do you got? Like, what most of you guys?
So all the best architects were inspired by women, is what you're saying?
Not just architects, like in general.
They built the beautiful cathedrals and everything inspired by women?
A lot of the good things are inspired by women. Or like, don't you want to have someone like who is always going to believe in you, who's always going to support you, who's always going to make you feel like a man?
All right, ladies, this is what I just said. I said, it's my position very simply. Outside of reproduction, there's very little value that women provide to society.
What I just mentioned has nothing to do with reproduction.
But that my position is, outside of reproduction, you guys don't provide much value to society. Now, unless one of you guys can refute what I'm saying here, you're over here saying they're getting inspired by women. That's a lie. Men don't need women to build things. We build things without y'all.
Yeah, right.
And women don't contribute to building anything anyway. So, I mean, I know you guys don't like hearing this, but it's the truth. Women are effectively useless outside of sex and reproduction.
That's your truth. I think this is all
Okay, prove me wrong then. How am I wrong?
Well, if you have this opinion, if you have this belief, then it's okay. You can have it. Like, why would you need to prove it wrong? Like, you don't need to change the way you think. That's what I'm saying.
No. What I'm saying is pretty objectively true. Like, women don't contribute to society as much as men do at all. It's just that no one has the balls to say this. Most women are useless outside of sex. I'm just being honest here.
Would either of you guys pay to have sex with someone?
Thank you. My proof. Anyway.
No, I'm just asking.
So, can anyone prove me wrong here? That outside of reproduction, women don't add as much value to society.
I mean,
Go ahead.
It's an opinion, basically.
Okay. What's wrong about my opinion?
There's nothing wrong. That's what you believe. I'm not gonna like argue back and forth because I feel like men and women both bring value, but you don't see that, so I can't really.
I just explained to you how they bring value.
No, I understand.
Outside of reproduction, there's not much.
So you think a woman
That's
is
your
worthless?
opinion.
Okay, reproduction's a big
That's-
thing
that's
overall.
your
It is. You're right. It is a big thing.
So
But outside of that, there's not much. That's what I'm trying to explain. And here's the thing, you girls even know this. Think about it. You guys want men, you guys dress up, you put makeup on, you spend hours getting your hair done. What is that for? It's to attract men.
No.
Absolutely not.
I don't like they go.
It's for yourself. Absolutely not. Stay healthy. Stay healthy.
No.
So we just have to live our life in the house just because we're supposed to be getting ready for men to see us? Absolutely not. That's not how it works. And you wouldn't be able to maintain a household without a woman in the house. I doubt it that you could go to work, come home to your 2 kids, have a clean house, food cooked for, let's just say, 2 of your kids without a woman in the house.
Again, ladies, the argument is that men don't need women, but women need men. That's my argument.
Okay,
We don't need you guys. You guys need us. Without us, there's no running water, there's no lights, there's no buildings, there's no nothing, there's no protection. As a matter of fact, to prove my point, if the lights went on right now, you would need a man to protect you from crazy people running around.
Yeah.
Women cannot even defend themselves properly. So the reality is you absolutely need men, but men do not need you outside of reproduction. That's what I'm saying.
So why
And
not
you guys
be
can't refute anything that I'm saying because it's true. But no one ever tells women that they're useless. I'm one of the few people that does. You guys are effectively useless outside of sex. Ta-da! It's the truth. And you guys can't refute anything that I'm saying. This is true.
So it's sad that he
You want
came
a
from a
man
woman.
then.
So it's sad that he refers to women as
But did he
useless
lie?
and
Did I lie?
Absolutely, you absolutely did.
Okay, what did I lie about? Tell us.
You cannot maintain a household on your own without a woman in the house.
You can outsource that.
Okay, let's do it vice versa then.
women?
No?
Not you.
Let's do it vice versa. If I don't need you to reproduce, then what else do I need
You
you
actually
for?
do need me.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't.
Oh,
What else?
oh,
What
sure.
else?
You rely on men for the monopoly of force to protect you, the police, the military. You rely on men to run the infrastructure that you enjoy, the electricity, internet, water. The buildings
There's
that you
women
walk
in the
around
police
in.
department.
Women
There's
don't
women in
build-
all of this.
Women
All
don't
of these
build any of
industries,
this.
women in all of it.
Women don't build any of it. 98% of inventors are men. Well, you absolutely do need men. When you
No one said we don't
Men are
need
better
men.
at it.
Yes,
Absolutely,
that's
no
my
one said we
point.
need men.
You need men. We don't need you.
When you're making
That's what I'm trying to
that,
say.
we can call on our man. We're making that.
I don't necessarily have to call a man.
You know,
You call a woman?
I could defend myself.
So for that, pull up on you, you call me.
If I could defend myself before I have to call anyone, no, I'm not calling no one.
So
I defend myself.
why are you scared then?
But really, it's still a fear that I have. Doesn't mean I don't walk around protected with myself.
I can't believe it.
Well, here's the thing. They haven't been able to refute anything we said.
No,
They're just triggered in that what they honestly can't give
It's
another.
not much of a trigger. It's more so that there's no rebuttal in you because there's no way to win over it because it's just your mindset. It's stuck in your head. No one can take it out.
Give me an answer as to how women provide value to society outside of reproduction. Go ahead. I named how men can do it. Now let's see if we can go.
Can you maintain a household with 2 kids in it and have everything in order?
Yes,
No,
you actually
you
could.
cannot.
It wouldn't be as optimal, but you absolutely could.
Support, support your man, like when you're in a relationship and you have a family, then you need the support from somebody else, like during your whatever time.
Would it be
like,
better with women? Of course, but do you need them? No. I'm talking about need.
Single dads are better than single moms anyway, so just saying. Single dads are better than single moms.
Not in all cases.
Yeah.
Majority.
No, single. That's not even a ladies statistically proven. Men, single fathers do significantly better than single mothers every single time. Kids become way more productive in society. Meanwhile, single mothers produce all the biggest degenerates.
School shooters.
Yeah, all that. So again, can you guys give me an example of how?
Man, the Lakers are trash, man. You gotta accept it, Cam. Lakers is garbage, man. Point blank, period. Got false hope. It is okay. I understand you're delusional. I understand you don't know basketball. I understand. Oh, Cam, stop it. Lakers never had a shot.
And the Lakers will go for a different look here. Vanderbilt checked in for Hayes. Luka Doncic comes in for Cleveland. Smart's checked in for Bogdanovich. And James is subbed in for Reed. Here's Doncic. And here's Smart. To the inside. Oh, a hard finish from LeBron. His daytime on the rim puts a sweet cherry on top, BA. It's a close game, and those displays of explosiveness can jumpstart a team. Pass to Edwards. Randall outside. Downtown. Kick out to Edwards. Over Smart. Edwards, no good. Well, he continues to make the effort, but the results just aren't there this year. Vanderbilt with a screen. James with the ball. Zumo picks him up. That gives him the lead. James has got 38 points. They're winning the battle down low by imposing their will. Outside for Randall. Launches a three. James with the rebound. James has got his fifth rebound in this one. The Lakers in the lead. Doncic, screen on Reed. Clock at 6. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. Not much the defense can do there. I mean, LeBron is an absolute fool down low. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Los Angeles. Well, the mid-range has been open for them, so you've got to take what the defense gives, and that's been a great attack in this situation. Well, another thing they did well was taking advantage of the holes in the defense. Very aggressive in exploiting the lack of concentration. Both free throws good from James. And really strong at the line since the break. Timberwolves trail by 3. Outside, DiVincenzo. And Edwards puts up a deep 3. LeBron with the rebound. Something remains so impressive. He does so many things so well. Good on both. Minnesota has gone 3 of 7 from the perimeter during fourth. DiVincenzo has to Edwards. Oh, Anthony Edwards! A playmaker!
Well, nobody hit those threes since halftime, and he did in the whole first half. Tonight, I think there's something else.
Now, here's James. There's a screen. Back to Doncic. Again! What an avalanche! And that gives him 51. Making it look easy. And Chris Finch has called timeout. No doubt he's going to utilize the opportunity to make sure they're all on the same page here. Timberwolves trail by 4. Outside Edwards. DiVincenzo with a screen on Smart. Now Randall from deep. No, they've been winning the rebound battle today. Another big board right there. Now James. Out of bounds as Los Angeles keeps possession. Nice deflection there. Really trying to disrupt their offensive flow.
Yeah, there's nothing easy on offense. Coaches love seeing that kind of hustle on the defensive end.
Now, here's James. 4 on the clock. Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him to clean look.
Here's Edwards.
That was a big mistake.
Here's James. There's the screen. Off on the layup. Timberwolves trail by 3. Boy, that foul looked intentional. Not exactly what you'd expect here. No, it just doesn't make sense given the situation. Here's Randall. Outside DiVincenzo. It's good from beyond the arc. He wants the ball. That's a player for the dramatic, unfazed in big situations. And here's Smart. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. James with the ball. Vanderbilt, screen on Randall. James. Making it the layup. Oh, easy to see why LeBron has the ball in these moments. He's dependable coming through on this team.
Sometimes the action speeds up on you a little too much. Two teammates not on the same wavelength there.
50 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. Doncic, a screen on Randall. Now Doncic. Cleared away by Reed.
Excellent coverage defensively. Making it hard.
Dante DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Did just a great job of getting there first and absorbing the contact. They can't afford to waste this shot. Moments like this are what it's all about. Passes it in. Credit the screen there, springing him loose for the finish. And Chris Finch has called timeout. Great time to call his guys into the huddle at a very tense moment in this game. What's the best strategy for them? They're in a tough spot. Barely enough time to run the catch and shoot. They may get a second chance here. If it's overturned, we're going to go to overtime. Tough call to make in real time. I mean, good thing they can go and slow it down and look at it again. After the review, it's overturned. Now it looks like this is not over. The shot will count. And regulation is ended. And we are headed to overtime. And we'll be back with you shortly. Glad to have you with us. As we get going in overtime, neither team giving an inch in this game. And here's James. We've got Jared Vanderbilt. Marcus Smart out there with Luka Doncic. And there's James. And it's Richardson in at the two-guard spot. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. Edwards against Smart. And for some reason, he decided to foul there. That's an odd move. Maybe there's something else behind it. Outside Reed. Here's Randall. Reed sets a screen to take the lead. And that's what he planned.
It's a strong play. He gets downhill easily.
Now James. Vanderbilt, screen on Randall. James. They trapped in. Hey, when in doubt, run the defender off the screen. And you know, with a result like that, we'll see them run it again.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter. Lakers trail by 3. Now here's Doncic. Pass it in. And coming down the stretch, both teams still playing fantastic offense.
Yeah, in hopes that your opponent is just going to go cold. That's not going to happen. It doesn't look like in this one. This might go down to whoever has the last possession.
That is a rarity. He takes life. Usually hammer them home. Guard a screen on Reed. Doncic. Another one goes. Incredible. Talk about coming up huge. What a performance. He's nearing the franchise record for most points in a playoff game. And this guy is clutch.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
I think Luka likes getting into it with the defense. I mean, just embracing the physicality. And the second free throw is good. He missed the chance to put them up by 3. You know he'd like to have that one back. Outside Edwards. Now Reed. Outside Edwards. Up at 4. this is where your coaching is so important. They need a really good play now.
Well, they'll likely only get one shot at this. They need to make it count.
The pressure is mounting as they hope to take the lead. Absolutely no room for error here. Edwards against Smart. Edwards with it. DiVincenzo fires.
Big shit crash the boards. LHS law. Got home on. All that suit. Right? Mine's supposed to be in cars. And I like when I launch these. Just me and my deals. Split the town parking lot. DVD in the truck. A bitch.
They say every dream starts with a spark. But on the court, the spark is one. Welcome to Dream League, where every dribble tells a story. Every turn has a heartbeat. Every matchup a name. This season we go.
It's your baby, man. What you gonna do?
Here, then Spark. They're ready. One place. One move. It's you. You're on the train.
Welcome to Hoop Dreams, Beyond a Dream. It is coming down to the wire, guys. These next couple of battles are going to be for real, for real. To my left, we got Ballhead. Man, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Happy to be here. Blessed. Blessed to be in this class. I'm ready to play.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you play. And to my right, we have somebody I've seen play a couple of times. Zay Tosin.
And once again, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You already know what we're here to do. We got buckets. We got the 24 first.
This is a co-main event. So again, like I said, these next couple of games are going to be for real. This is a co-main event. Ballhead versus Zay. Get your popcorn, kick your feet back, and get ready for some phenomenal action. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Hoop Dreams TV. I'm here at the Army. That's what we use. Gold J. It's a fucking 1v1 match of the century. Chick. Where I'm from, they call that chick. We got an 8-3 game. 8-3. Ballhead is withstanding the rush. Ballhead is withstanding the energy. Oh, he cooking now. Trying to slap the backboard. So that was a good lay though. I ain't gonna tell you. Yeah. He just missed it. Yeah, he just missed it. Say, boom. No foul. They say Ballhead gotta let him land. What y'all think, guys? They say Ballhead gotta let him land. That's up. Oh shit. Hey, Ballhead! I see you, boy! Hey, Ballhead is walking it down! Ballhead is walking it down! Oh, kill me. You gotta finish. Teardrop shot. Hey, son! We got a 10-5 game, guys. 10-5 game. This is shot making at a high level. Ballhead and Zay have electrified the field. Everyone is involved in this game. This game is very loud. The crowd is into this game, guys. Co-main event. Oh, shit. Holy fucking shit, man. Damn, sorry that was Ballhead is walking this shit down. Oh, shit. Holy fucking shit, man. Damn, sorry that. 10-8. Man, cheer for that. Man, Ballhead shot down. Ballhead shot maker. Ballhead a shot maker. He's a shot maker. 21-9. It's on you, ballhead. It's on you. Oh, good lane. Good lane. 21, 21-11. Good lane, ballhead. Oh, the whole damn gym was able. The whole gym was able. The whole gym is able. The whole entire gym. Ballhead is out here. Oh, that go ballhead say, I'm going to do it by myself, Sal. Ballhead say, I'm going to do it by myself. I don't need nobody here with me. Ballhead say it's me against the world. That ball boy is 21-15. I see you, ballhead.
Current owners and lessees of an eligible competitive luxury brand vehicle get this lease offer on this 2026 Cadillac Lyriq.
It's me against the world. Guys, 21-15. Hit a 3 game over. Guys. 21-15. 21-15, guys. This is absolutely insane. 22-15. Zay can win the game right here, guys. Zay can win the game right here, Chad. Is he going to finish the game? Yes or no? That's good. Good call, ref. Good call. Good call, ref. Oh, lay him, ball head. We have a 22-17 game. 22-17. scrappy. He had a scrappy, guys. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. Holy shit. 21-22. 21-22. Ball head talking his shit. Talk ball head. Talk. Upset the world. Oh. Baldy is a fucking dog. Baldy is a fucking dog. Ref is doing an amazing job. Playing with his phone. Zay playing with his phone. He just got so lucky. Guys, it is getting very, very intense out here. It is getting very intense out here. I don't know what to do, guys. What do I do right now? What is going on? Here we go. On the ground. On the ground. Okay, here we go, guys. Can Zay finish the game? Nope. Damn! 21-22. Ball head versus the world. 23-22. 23-22. Oh, ball head versus the world.
You're too soft. You can't come in the streets and play.
Wow.
It's a dog fight on me.
Welcome to Hoop Dreams. That was absolutely phenomenal. Guys, Ballhead versus the world. Ballhead.
Let that nigga win. Let that nigga
Come
win.
on, Ballhead. Bro, what is happening? Ballhead, what is going on?
Let that nigga win.
Bro, let's wear it,
Let that nigga win.
Let's wear it, Ballhead. Let's wear
Let
it.
that nigga win. Let that nigga win.
Oh, come on. They don't broke the chain, bro. They don't broke the chain. They don't broke the chain. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's all good, bro. Oh, Lord.
Don't worry about it.
They don't broke the chain. Guys, what a phenomenal game. Wow. Intense. Congratulations to Ballhead. Hey, congratulations, bro. How did you do it?
How did I do it? We knew what was going to happen. Come on. I would never lay down. Check the record. I would never lay. And when that interview dropped, remember what that nigga said? What he told you? What he told you? No, he said. And he lost. Boy, and he lost. Check the score. He lost. He told me it was going to be 24-10. He lost. He sold the game. And they call it their MVP. Nigga, I'm the MVP now. They tell him come get it.
Well, guys, Ballhead said what he said. Say what you got to say.
Hey, man. Take the L. I'm not worried about those things. At the end of the day, you do what you got to do. They got the dub, but I'll run it back. I'll see him, man. See, I ain't worried about it. This thing, I ain't worried about it, bro.
It happens, guys. It happens. Zay had a chance of finishing the game. He was on a hot streak. Ballhead, he completely walked him down. I saw it with my own eyes. Ballhead, the whole chimp, guys, was on Zay's side. I saw it with my own eyes. Zay
He got that dog
versus
in
the
him.
world. Ballhead versus the world.
He got that dog in
It
him.
was absolutely phenomenal. All I want to say is,
Now I'm talking. He got that dog in him.
he's still going. Ballhead is still going. Bro, when the world is against you, can you handle what come with it? Ballhead showed up, showed out. Congrats to him. Hoop Dreams, you know what we do, man. On to the main event. I'm so ready. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Damn, that was crazy, bro. Damn, they broke my damn chain.
Appreciate you.
Let me know what happened with him.
He lost. He said 24-10. It ain't that.
Right there.
Oh, I just got some chicken.
What happened?
Little chicken. That's what happens when you bet against Ballhead. Never go against Ballhead. Never. She hit me. You got to check my hair for real.
What in the hell is this?
And just like that, man, we back, chat. We back with the last game of the night, man. The finale, man. Y'all bring the popcorn out, man. This the game y'all been asking for, man. Yeah. All the fans on YouTube been asking. All the fans on the Discord been asking. So it's only right we made this happen in Texas, man, where everything bigger and better. So with that being said, man, I got my boy Jay Perry just touched down from St. Louis, man. You know what I'm saying? My boy out here. I know y'all know him, man. He real familiar on the scene now. I know y'all done seen him on Ballin' Slide, the scene league, etc., man. I got my boy down here in the trenches, man. How you feeling today, my boy Jay Perry?
Good, and I ain't got shit to say. Let's hoop.
Boy say he feeling good and he don't got shit to say. He ready to hoop. Now y'all know who I got right here to the left, man. The champ, man. Yeah, the one, man. Yeah, man. I'm talking about, yeah, one of Houston's favorite right now, man. My boy number one in the city right now, man. B-John, how you feeling tonight, brother?
Feeling good. Let's do it.
My boy say he feeling good. Let's do it. Well, you see these gentlemen don't want to do too much talking. They ready to hoop. So y'all know what I'm going to say, man. Let's check up, Ted.
Cam is delusional, y'all. Y'all don't pay Cam no attention, y'all. He delusional. You know it. The Lakers are trash. They're not winning the championship. They never had a chance to win against Boston. They fucking garbage. They first round exit, and that's the facts. So Cam can sit here and cap all he wants to, and think the Lakers can win a title because they can't. The Lakers is not a good basketball team, and it's time for LeBron to retire. Time for Reeves to go on and get up out of here. Marcus Smart can go. DeAndre Ayton can go. This off season, I'm letting everybody go. Reeves can go. Juan can go. Hachimura can go. DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart can both go this offseason. This team is garbage. We need to revamp this team. Start from scratch. Start over. Build this team around Luka Doncic. Get these bums out of here. So y'all don't pay Cam no attention, bro. He don't know basketball. Not at a high level. My fault for y'all. Cam not doing basketball, y'all. My fault, y'all.
Just a knight in shining armor. Do you think it was that easy? I would have already done it. Attempt to help is wasting all of our time. So why don't you just buckle your seatbelt and stop talking? I would really like to find some space in the cabin. I'm telling you now, it's not going to happen. Make your decision now. Check it. And from the way you dress, satisfactory for you. So I'll just go ahead and let you know it's going to be $50. I'm What's that supposed to mean? I'm just giving you all the information you might want before making the decision, miss. So it's an interview. Fine. I'll pay the but I'm not sad. It's an inconvenience for me. That all. Again, not oversized. Of course it isn't, but people should know their limits. Now please, take this. Hi. Yes. I was just wondering. That passenger right there. That's an ordered prior to the departure date. Did you order a mini-button ticket? No. Then there's no meal for you. Sorry. Is there a way that you could check to see if there was an extra meal by any chance? I would pay for it right now. Ma'am, I'm telling you right now, I'll try as I possibly can. Please don't make me repeat myself for a third time. There's no meal for you. Got it? Thanks. What's that? Cookies or two But it does. You see, when people like you take up space that could be used by someone doing things, are you saying that I'm not deserving of exactly? You're taking up space on the bed, occupied by someone who doesn't think you should take. I don't think boredom is good. Of course, you don't. You people never do. You come in here with your own sex luggage and your lack of manners. Like royalty. Alright. Some juice and some cookies. Honestly, it's like dealing with a child. You don't get it, do you? If I just don't, I'm going to hand out taxes for premium people. For my money. But now you're getting it. Doesn't buy you class. Unfortunately for you, continue to the class above yours. Now I want to know everything. What? What are you still doing here? Man, everyone has learned it, so should you. What? Something that I would like to do this past week. Okay, yeah, just I already told you, just don't to actually help me. That's a mindset. Like anything bigger than lemonade stand. Even with this airline situation, and that just last month, we've had 3 separate passengers file a complaint. I am. But to evaluate the quality of service of I'm sorry. But I think then the complaints that we received about you incredible. For the problem. You know why I because all of this is we've been talking about non-stop. Your job is to provide excellent to all parties. I assure you, I will just I need to see if every why do you need to see my board? I'm already but I don't see why I have to verify my you didn't ask him for his one. You didn't ask me for your documents. Sir, I don't need to see your documents. Only this. Oh, you asked for my documents. Yeah, I thought you were going to do that question too. This has nothing to do with race. I'm just giving you.
Get that on the phone. Get that on the phone.
Punching about me based on my race. Fine. Take whatever you want. And credit card if you want to say this. I need to verify the payment method of the date line. I'm not convinced this ticket was purchased legitimately.
Okay, yeah, wait just a minute. Yeah, man, and it's like that. We back in the trenches, man. Game 2 of the night, man. Game 1 was fireworks, man. Dogfight, man. Went down to the wire, man. I will tell y'all who won, but just stay tuned. Y'all just go subscribe to the channel for that. But this next game, man, this next game, another dogfight, man. Another banger, man. Y'all see who I got to the right, man. Mr. Belt to ass, Mr. B2. Hey, I'm talking about, Mr. Mr. Everything on the scene, man. My boy stay undefeated, man. And you know he coming to keep his undefeated streak alive, man. How you feeling tonight, JB?
Our system and scammers will do anything to
Belt to ass, 7 and 0, man. My boy, you see my boy serious tonight. And every time my boy play around a little bit, he mean business tonight. I see it on his face. Now to my left over here, man, I got a new contender, man. I got somebody new in the trenches, man. I got a new baller, man. He making his debut tonight, man, by the name of Zay, man. Tell the people how you feeling tonight, Zay.
Ready to bump.
My boy say he ready to bump, man. You got any predictions tonight, man? You got any predictions for the crowd or the score? How you gonna win, man? You got anything you want to tell the people?
The cheese coming home, man.
Oh, my boy say that chicken is coming home, chat. Well, y'all know how I go in these trenches, man. We finna get the bumping, man. And y'all know what I like to say at the end, man. Check up, man. Let's do it.
I might be a few minutes late. Tomorrow morning, but I have to go now. I'll see you tomorrow night. That's the leg up.
Yes, he's lucky not doing
I hope you guys are making this information. I have a major class. I made an ad medicine and make a quarter. I've worked my way up from entry-level position over the past 8 years. Everything I have earned is hard work and determination. I would never do anything this way.
You know, and for what it's worth, that's why they said it's racist. But consider this.
Thank you. And thank you for speaking that back there. A lot of people
You feel just and it's just, I mean, really good to be treated with respect and dignity, just like any other factor.
I think that would go without saying, but everyone got that in their mind.
You'll be at your destination on time.
I really need this book. Here are your documents. Now we'll leave you alone. Yes, I'll leave you alone. I want to say that I still think people like you don't belong in first class. There's still something fishy about your ticket as far as I'm concerned. You're doing your job and you're absolutely a successful professional who works hard for everything she has. Stop making judgments based on racist stereotypes. We're better than this.
Papa Ricky's has free pizza.
Yeah, now through Monday, it's buy one pizza, get one pizza free. Just use your photo or your spot.
Pepperoni or this?
Or your favorite Papa Ricky's Tasty Day pizza online now. Designed to move with you when and where life happens. Secret is MVP Asia Wilson's go-to antiperspirant. It's Back to Beauty Award 3 years running. I wonder if anyone's ever won it 4 times.
No pressure. Pressure on the Absolutely. CEO of Morrison Airlines. This is my name. I just have an undercut personally with
The airline.
salesperson makes a major mistake. Register without taking the bill. And can be vigorously. Gesture. That happened. Accounts have to change without having received any money. Now she reaches for the change. This time, continues to actively assist her. As we see, gestures. Primary goal is distracting and catch up with recovery. Now she's timed out the required. Asking some terrifying money back in the register. That is, it never reaches the cashier. Stands. Turns, counting out the change. Picks up his wallet. That movement. Staring at his the register. Well, like the app. Next, you see the cashier scrolling. Then, apparently, realizes something has gone wrong. Exchange was over. Makes a characteristic gesture and pauses, tries to recall the events, decides to check where that 5,000 not in the register. Here we see bills of different denominations. The red note is missing. Walks away, perhaps dropped it. Something's wrong here. Clearly saw it. Taking it to the register. Just for the other bills. Somewhere around that point, realizes she's made a mistake and the money is gone. And all these attempts to look elsewhere are just self-deception. As a result, calculate the damage caused by the burglary. 5,000 rubles. This includes hours in exchange from the 5,000 rubles. The story didn't end so badly. Better work had been solved. This criminal investigation officer tracked down the bank robber and soon apprehended him. By that time, he had already broken 5,000 bills in his manner at various office stores. The suspect had been convicted of one robbery. Then came to office, ostensibly for employment. Let this video help retail workers avoid
made me understand that that night was unusual. It wasn't tumultuous. It was the silence that followed. I prefer not to say my name, and after what happened at that roadside stop on I-10, keeping certain things off the table is a way to continue driving in peace. I've been driving across the southern part of the country for years. I know every stretch of desert.
Oh, gotta.
I've heard engines blow up, tires tear, and even transmissions die in the middle of nowhere. But that silence had weight. It was 2 in the morning when I pulled into the isolated in Arizona. One of those that is first came out of extreme vibration and real activity. The lighting came from tall poles that cast a weak, illustrated in the tracks. As it rained, my machine raised the size of the trailer. There were only 2 trucks, all apart. I chose the furthest spot possible. My cargo that night wasn't refrigerated, sensitive, or flashy. Sealed pallets, all paperwork ordered. Weight within limit. Nothing that would involve interest. I followed standard procedure. Locked the doors, checked the mirrors, and turned off the engine. When the dashboard lights went out, an almost absolute silence filled the cabin. That's when I heard the first bang. It didn't sound like a punch. It didn't sound like someone hitting the outside of the trailer. It was muffled, metallic, irregular, as if it were coming from inside another trailer. I waited a few seconds, thinking it was cargo being adjusted, but the sound returned, this time with 3 short thuds followed by something dragging. I looked in the right rearview mirror and saw the refrigerated truck parked 2 spaces behind. The detail that caught my attention was that the refrigerator was off. No constant noise from the auxiliary motor, no typical vibration of active refrigeration. Yet, something seemed to be moving inside. I stood there trying to convince myself it was my imagination. The silence returned, heavier than before, and I made the mistake of deciding to check. I got out of the cabin with the wrong feeling that I was doing something I didn't need to do. The early morning air was dry and cold, that fine desert chill that doesn't hurt but alerts you. The gravel under the soles of my boots seemed too high, as if each step was announcing my position. There was no movement in the other parking spaces. No doors opening, no engines. I walked toward the refrigerator, keeping enough distance so as not to seem too curious. The trailer was white, without a logo, with dust marks accumulated on the lower edges. The rear doors were closed, seals visible. Nothing visibly forced open. I touched the metal slide. It was cold, but it didn't vibrate. I waited a few seconds in absolute silence, trying to catch any internal sounds. That's when I heard it again, this time more clearly. 3 muffled, spaced-out blows as if someone were conserving energy. It wasn't the load pattern settling. There was rhythm. There was intention. My first thought was simple. Someone got trapped. My second thought came too quickly. This isn't my responsibility. I looked around for the truck driver. Cab was dark. Curtains drawn. No sign of occupancy. No license plate indicating a large company. No visible identification. It was at that moment that I saw lights appear at the entrance to the rest stop. The pickup truck pulled in far too slowly for someone who just wanted to cut. It didn't go straight into the free spaces. It made a wide turn and positioned itself behind my truck. The engine remained on. The high beams were fixed in my rearview mirror. I didn't run back to the cab. And today I know that almost cost me dearly. I stood between my truck and the refrigerated truck, trying to appear indifferent to the presence of the pickup. Its engine remained running, steady, as if waiting for something to happen. The high beams suddenly went out, but the vehicle didn't move. That's when the feeling of being watched ceased to be just an impression. The truck door opened slowly, the movement too controlled to be casual. A man got out holding something long against his leg, not in a threatening way. He closed the door slowly and began walking toward the back of my trailer. There were no shouts, no running, no nervousness. There was nothing. I maintained a firm posture and began to back away toward my cabin, measuring each step. He didn't say anything, didn't quicken his pace, just adjusted his trajectory to keep the distance the same. When I reached the driver's door, I felt my heart pounding in my chest. I climbed 2 steps at once and got into the cabin. I closed the door and immediately engaged the central lock, turning the key in the ignition almost reflexively. Before the engine had finished starting, I heard a sharp thud on the passenger window. The first blow didn't shatter it completely, but it created a web of cracks which spread in seconds. The second blow went right through. The glass shattered into the cabin with a violent sound, scattering fragments across the seat and dashboard. I felt small cuts on my arm as he tried to reach the inside door handle. The object he was holding was a heavy metal tool, not an improvised one. He knew exactly where to strike to create enough space. I didn't have time to think about courage or fear, only about the sequence of actions. Clutch pressed. He turned all the way. Diesel engine responding with minimal delay. I kept my foot firmly on the accelerator as I released the parking brake and engaged first gear. The man tried to force his arm through the broken glass but couldn't reach the latch. The truck started moving the exact moment he lost his balance. The pickup truck behind me was blocking my front exit, so the only option was to go sideways. I turned the steering wheel sharply, ignoring the bad angle and the proximity of the loose gravel. The trailer responded with a heavy delay, dragging slightly before straightening out. I heard something hit the side of the cab, but I didn't stop to identify what it was. My only goal was to create distance. The pickup truck reacted quickly, accelerating to try and close my exit angle. It moved forward on the left side while I was still adjusting the alignment of the vehicle. The truck's tail rope provided stability, but also limited any sudden maneuvers. If I misjudged the turn, I could end up sideways and completely vulnerable. I kept the accelerator steady, without any visible panic. I passed the rest stop exit, almost scraping the low concrete curb. As soon as I reached the I-10 highway, I shifted into the next gear and increased the revs. The pickup truck tried to keep up for a few seconds, staying in sideline. Its headlights were flashing intermittently, perhaps trying to disorient me. I maintained a straight line. After a few kilometers, she slowed down and disappeared in the ravine. There was no long chase, no gunshots, no honking. Just the calculated retreat of someone who didn't get what they wanted. I kept driving without slowing down, feeling the cold wind enter through the broken glass and mix with the smell of dust and metal. I only slowed down when the mileage counter indicated a sufficient distance to make it impossible to catch me in 2 minutes. The wind coming in through the broken glass started to really bother me, bringing in fine sand and the dry smell of the desert. My arm burned from the smell, but nothing deep enough to compromise my driving. What really weighed on me was the question I avoided answering. What would have happened if I had opened that refrigerator? I kept thinking about the muffled thumps I heard before the truck came into the rest stop. The pattern wasn't random. It wasn't the sound of loose cargo. It was a restrained, almost calculated rhythm, as if someone knew they couldn't draw too much attention. It didn't sound like a coincidence, and the synchronized arrival of the truck made it all seem even less natural. If someone was trapped inside, the plan was simple and cruel. Create enough curiosity to force a driver to approach and get out of the cab. With the truck unlocked and the driver out of control, all that was left was to surround them and take over. It wasn't about the refrigerated truck, it was about my truck. It was about cargo, paperwork, and a quick disappearance. I'd heard similar stories about crossing Texas and New Mexico, but I always dismissed them as gas station exaggerations. After that night on I-10, I stopped believing it was all just hearsay. Someone had planned the time, chosen the location, and counted on the desert's isolation. Nothing there seemed improvised. When I finally pulled into a well-lit gas station many kilometers later, I realized my hands were still tense on the steering wheel. The attendant asked about the broken window, and I simply replied that it was an attempted robbery. I didn't mention the refrigerator. I didn't mention the banging. I didn't mention the silence. Some things are better left unreported. I continued my journey after improvising a shield on the windshield, but the road seemed different from that night on. Each stop required calculation. Each distant light gained significance. The isolation that once represented peace became a variable of risk. Working across state lines has always involved exposure, but there it became clear how much we depend on split-second decisions. I-10 remained the same, but I didn't. I prefer not to give my name because I still pass through that area a few times a year. I don't know if that refrigerated truck actually had someone inside or if it was all part of a larger scheme. I didn't go back to check. I didn't file a detailed complaint. I didn't try to investigate. My priority was to keep the cargo and stay alive. Sometimes surviving means accepting that you won't have all the answers. What remained was the pattern, not the violence. The muffled sound, the synchronized arrival, the calculated roadblock, the direct attack on the cabin's most vulnerable point. Nothing there seemed impulsive. It was cold, practical, and functional. That's what bothers me most when I remember that early morning. If you're listening to this now, you understand what it's like to depend on constant attention on the road. You know that many situations start out too small to seem like a real threat. I almost turned curiosity into a fatal mistake, and it was a close call that night didn't end differently. If that story hit you even a little, take a second and hit like. Seriously. When you like and leave a comment, it tells YouTube to push these stories to more people who actually enjoy this kind of content. Drop a comment too, even just a quick thought about what you would have done in that situation. That kind of engagement really helps this channel grow. And if you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, let me tell you what happened on the next run. My name is Travis Cole. I'm 40 years old, and I've been driving long routes through the West for almost 2 decades. I've always believed that an empty road is synonymous with tranquility, especially in the deserted stretches of Nevada, where the horizon seems endless. That night I was cruising down a state highway off the main road, maintaining a steady speed and a clear head. The dashboard illuminated the cabin with a soft blue light, while the rest was just stark darkness. I had no idea that danger was already sitting beside me before I even realized it. I found him stopped on the shoulder next to an old sedan with its hood up. There were no streetlights, no town nearby, just sand, dry vegetation, and wind crossing the asphalt. The hazard lights reflected in the desert like a repetitive orange pulse. I slowed down, checking my rearview mirror to see if anyone was coming from behind, but the road was completely empty. I stopped because it seemed like the only human decision to make. He walked to the cabin with steps too firm for someone desperate. He showed no panic, only controlled urgency. He said the car had suddenly died and that he needed a ride to the next gas station 20 or 30 kilometers away. I hesitated for a few seconds before unlocking the passenger door. It was enough to change the course of that night. As soon as he got in, he carefully closed the door and adjusted the seat as if he'd done it before. I got back on the track and accelerated to nearly 100 kilometers per hour, maintaining a straight trajectory through the dark desert. The crosswind was constant, but nothing out of the ordinary. The silence inside the cabin lasted less than a minute. He looked ahead and commented that my daughter should be starting high school that year. I hadn't mentioned family. There was no photograph on the dashboard, no sticker on the window, nothing to reveal that detail. Even so, he said her full name, as if he were reading it from a report, and he still hadn't told me his own name. I kept my eyes fixed on the road for a few seconds, waiting for him to complete the sentence with some logical explanation. Maybe someone from my town had commented on something. Maybe he had mistaken me for someone else. The desert stretched darkly past the sides of the windshield, with no visual reference beyond the reflective strip. The digital speedometer remained steady near 100 kilometers per hour. My heart, however, did not. I asked him how he knew my daughter's name, trying to keep my tone neutral and casual. He replied that certain information is easy to find when you pay enough attention. He said it as if commenting on the weather forecast or road conditions. There was no explicit threat in his voice. There was no smile. The crosswind made the trailer sway slightly, and I corrected the direction with small adjustments to the steering wheel. That's when he commented that my house has a white fence on the right side, and that the dog usually stays tied up there when we're not home. I never mentioned any dog. I never mentioned the neighborhood. I never said the city. The dashboard partially illuminated his face, but not enough to read his expression clearly. He kept his hands resting on his legs, a posture too upright for someone recently rescued from the side of the road. He wasn't looking at me, only ahead, watching the asphalt disappear beneath the headlights. The silence between sentences was calculated. The road lay empty in both directions, a dark corridor surrounded by barren terrain and scattered low bushes. There was no town nearby, no gas station visible on the horizon, just miles of desert and no cell phone signal. And I began to realize I was driving too fast to be comfortable. I started slowing down almost imperceptibly, 2 or 3 kilometers per hour at a time without slamming on the brakes. The engine sound changed slightly in RPM, but nothing that immediately caught his attention. He noticed, because he commented that I always drive a little above the speed limit when I'm alone. I had never said what my usual speed was. The information didn't make sense. I asked him his name, trying to steer the conversation towards something normal. He only gave a common first name, too short to remember. He didn't offer a last name, didn't ask mine, showed no interest in formally introducing himself. It was as if he'd already moved past that stage. That bothered me more than the information about my family. That's when I noticed a detail while he was adjusting the position of his right leg. The hem of his pants rode up a few centimeters, revealing something attached to his boot. It wasn't large, but it was enough to recognize the shape. A narrow knife, discreetly tucked into the inner side of the leather. It wasn't loose there by accident. He kept his right hand resting precisely on the leg where the knife was hidden. He wasn't holding the blade, but the proximity was too clear to be a coincidence. The dashboard illuminated only the metallic outline for fractions of a second. My field of vision alternated between the road and that specific spot. We were still going over 90 kilometers per hour, in the middle of a completely empty stretch of desert. If I braked suddenly, I could lose control of the vehicle. If I accelerated, I would increase the risk. I needed a decision that didn't look like a decision, and I needed to make it before he decided to act first. I decided not to look directly at the knife again, because any change in my gaze could betray that I had noticed. I maintained a neutral posture, hands firmly on the steering wheel, controlled breathing and minimal movements. The desert continued to stretch ahead like an endless dark strip. The speedometer now read 88 kilometers per hour. The reduction was gradual enough not to seem strategic. He commented that the neighborhood where I live usually gets quiet after 10 o'clock at night. He said the street only has one main entrance and few visible cameras. He spoke as if describing a memorized map. There was no emotion in his voice, only observation. Each sentence seemed constructed to gauge my reaction. I casually asked where he lived, but he deflected the question by saying he travels a lot. He added that predictable people are easy to follow. He didn't use the word watch. He didn't use the word follow. Still, the meaning was too implicit to ignore. My focus on the road had to compete with mental calculation. I noticed on the dashboard that a small secondary detour would appear a few kilometers ahead, a dimly lit technical rest stop used for maintenance. It wasn't an official station, but it had open space and better lateral visibility. If I could get there without provoking a reaction, I would at least have room to maneuver. The decision needed to seem natural. He readjusted his leg's position, confirming that the knife was still there. His right hand was now closer to the handle. The silence inside the cabin grew heavy, unlike the comfortable silence of before. I knew that the next action would determine how that night would end. I signaled the detour as if it were routine, gradually reducing the speed to 60 kilometers per hour. I didn't brake abruptly, just let the truck lose power naturally. He asked if we were close to the service station, and I replied that I needed to check a noise in the axle before continuing. I maintained a technical, confident tone, as if it were standard procedure. The vehicle began to enter the open maintenance area. The space was wide, with a compacted gravel floor and lighting far enough away to create long shadows. As soon as I lined up the truck, I pulled the parking brake with controlled firmness. The engine continued running, vibrating under the cab as it always does. I needed everything to appear normal until the very last second. Every movement I made was calculated so as not to trigger an early warning. He moved his hand toward the knife almost imperceptibly when he realized he hadn't put one there. The gesture was quick, but not quick enough for me not to confirm his intention. Before he could fully draw the blade, I opened my door and got out of the cabin on the opposite side from him. I didn't run. I just moved decisively. As soon as my feet touched the ground, I quickly circled the front of the truck, keeping my distance from the passenger door. He opened the door almost at the same time, but the height difference and the weight of the cab worked in my favor. I stayed out of direct reach while he assessed the situation. The knife was now fully visible in his hand. Without saying a word, I returned to the driver's side of the cab, climbed the steps and locked the door before he could get around the vehicle. I engaged the gear and released the brake in continuous sequence. The truck moved forward, leaving him on the gravel, stopped without chasing after it. In the rearview mirror, I only saw the silhouette diminishing in the dust. I only truly breathed a sigh of relief when I got back on the main highway and resumed a steady speed. The desert remained the same, dark and silent, but now it seemed larger than before. The speedometer read close to 90 kilometers per hour again. My hands were firmly on the steering wheel, but the tension was still there. The cabin had never felt so small. There was no chase, no headlights flashing behind me. He simply stood there, motionless on the gravel, as if he had already decided that this attempt was over. That's what disturbed me the most. There was no desperation, no emotional outburst, just a completed calculation. For the rest of the trip, each kilometer marker seemed slower than usual. I mentally revisited every detail of the conversation, every phrase he uttered as if I were reading a file. I don't know how he knew about my family. I don't know how long he'd been observing me, or if it was all a contrived coincidence. What I know is that the knife wasn't for ordinary self-defense. It was positioned for quick access, hidden enough not to attract immediate attention. And the kind of information he had didn't come from an impromptu roadside conversation. It came from prior observation. Since that night in the Nevada desert, I no longer give rides on deserted highways no matter the situation. The road remains long, remains silent. But now I understand that not every request for help is just a request. Sometimes it's a test to see if you're willing to open the right door. The gate was open when it shouldn't have been. There was no illuminated sign, no active guard post, no record of nighttime operations in that yard. Even so, the recent tire tracks on the ground indicated constant movement. I knew it didn't make sense even before I turned off the motor. And yet I went in. My name is Caleb Turner, and I've been driving in the Southwest long enough to recognize when a place feels off. The company instruction was clear. Wait there until unloading clearance the following morning. The yard was isolated, surrounded by open desert and low metal sheds. There was no town nearby, just state highway and sand. After parking in the designated area, I turned off the engine and waited for silence to settle in. The desert wind swept across the terrain, kicking up fine dust against the sides of the trailers. The lighting came from tall poles with flickering white bulbs. With each flicker of light, the shadows shifted position. It was on the third swing that I noticed movement where there shouldn't be any. Two men were standing between trucks parked further back, unloading something quickly and in a coordinated manner. They weren't wearing uniforms, there was no forklift, and there was no official record of their activity. The rear doors of one of the trailers were open. I remained motionless inside the cab, watching through the side mirror adjusted to its maximum. The boxes they were moving had no visible identification and were being transferred from one truck to another. No interior lights were turned on to avoid attracting outside attention. This wasn't an overtime shift. This was something that shouldn't be happening. I remained seated in the cabin for a few minutes, pretending to review messages on the panel to justify leaving the interior light on. Every movement outside was quick and efficient, as if following its own schedule. There was no loud conversation, only short gestures and silent coordination. The surrounding desert remained completely dark beyond the reach of the streetlights. This was happening in the middle of nowhere. The transfer of goods was done directly between two trailers parked side by side. One of them wasn't on the list of vehicles scheduled for that yard that night. I had received the full schedule before leaving the base. I recognized at least 3 license plates that shouldn't have been there. This confirmed that I hadn't been imagining things. I decided not to interfere and just wait inside the truck until dawn. The plan was simple: remain invisible. If they didn't know I'd noticed, maybe it would all end there. I slightly adjusted the mirror to widen my view without leaning too far. The last thing I needed was to attract attention. That's when one of the men stopped for a second and looked directly in the direction of my truck. It wasn't a casual glance. It was an assessment. He remained motionless for several seconds, far too long to be a coincidence. Even with the uneven lighting, I felt I had been identified. Instinctively, I turned off the interior cabin light and remained completely still. My truck was positioned about 50 meters from their activity, but the line of sight was direct. I had a clear feeling that this distance was not enough, and at that moment I realized that the main gate was no longer open. I leaned slightly to see the gate in the side convex mirror. Where there had once been a free opening, there was now a chain running through the metal bars. I didn't hear the moment they closed it, which meant they did it while I was watching the back of the yard. The padlock reflected the intermittent white light of the lampposts. That wasn't an operational coincidence. I glanced back at the men in the background and noticed that one of them was no longer carrying boxes. He was walking towards me with controlled steps, without any apparent hurry. He wasn't running, shouting, or pointing at anything. He was simply steadily closing the distance. The other remained by the trailers observing. My first impulse was to start the engine immediately and drive toward the gate, but the interior space was too narrow for a sudden maneuver. There were trucks parked in parallel rows, creating tight corridors. If I got the angle wrong, I could get stuck between two trailers, and then there would be no second chance. I decided to keep the truck off for a few more seconds, trying to look like just another driver waiting to unload. The man kept approaching, now less than 30 meters away. The light flickered again, casting a long shadow of him on the concrete. He already knew I had seen him. That's when I heard the dry sound of a metal door slamming shut somewhere behind the sheds. It indicated more people in the yard, not just two men. The math changed instantly. I wasn't just trapped in an enclosed space. I was outnumbered on land they knew better than I did. I turned the key in the ignition with a firm, controlled movement, trying not to show urgency. The diesel engine responded with a deep rumble that echoed through the yard louder than I would have liked. At the same instant, the man walking towards me quickened his pace. It wasn't a frantic run. It was a calculated reaction. The white light flickered again, casting distorted shadows between the trailers. I engaged first gear and moved through the narrow corridor between two rows of parked trucks. The lateral space was limited, and any miscalculation could tear the side of my trailer. I maintained a low but constant speed, looking for a position for a larger maneuver. In the mirror, I saw at least two men moving parallel between the vehicles. One of them got into a pickup truck parked near the warehouses. The headlights flashed abruptly, cutting through the darkness of the yard with direct light. Now I had limited mobility against a light vehicle that could easily navigate around obstacles. The uneven concrete made the whole thing vibrate under the full weight of the load. I needed to use the truck's size to my advantage. The pickup truck started moving, trying to intercept my lane before I reached the center of the yard. I accelerated enough to gain momentum, but not so much as to lose control. I turned the steering wheel sharply, making the trailer follow with a heavy lag. The space between two trailers was minimal, but sufficient for a calculated passage. I heard the sound of something hitting the side of my trailer as I passed through a narrower area. I didn't stop to check the damage. The pickup truck appeared from the left, trying to block my path. The enclosed yard was now a maze of metal, concrete, and headlights crisscrossing the middle of the New Mexico desert. I knew I couldn't beat the pickup truck in agility, so I needed to force it into a miscalculation. I kept the truck straight for a few meters, and then turned abruptly to the right, entering an even narrower corridor between two parked trailers. The space was too tight for the pickup to continue at the same speed. The weight of my vehicle gave me stability, not speed. The pickup truck tried to maneuver around the outside of the lane, attempting to intercept me at the exit of the corridor. I increased the revs just enough to maintain constant momentum without losing traction. The uneven concrete made the steering wheel vibrate in my hands. Each side mirror was checked in fractions of a second. Any mistake there would leave me stranded. As I exited the corridor, I aligned the truck directly toward the main gate. The chain was still stretched between the metal bars, reflecting the white light from the lampposts. There was no time to get out and try to remove the padlock. The only viable option was to use the truck's own weight as a tool. I kept the accelerator steady. The pickup truck reappeared from the left, attempting to cut me off before I reached the gate. I ignored the approach and maintained my steady trajectory. The impact of the grille against the bumper was loud and sharp, followed by the snap of the chain stretched to its limit. The padlock couldn't withstand the combined force of weight and inertia. The metal structure gave way enough to create a partial opening. The truck slid through, dragging part of the side fence before hitting the outside asphalt. In my rearview mirror, I saw the pickup truck stop before the damaged gate. They didn't try to go beyond the yard's boundaries. I got the impression that this was already the maximum reach of their operation. I didn't slow down until the parking lot completely disappeared from the rearview mirror, and the state highway resumed its normal silence. The New Mexico desert looked the same as always, but I knew it wasn't the same for me anymore. The engine revved steadily as I mentally reviewed every second of the chase. The cabin vibrated like any other night shift. Only now there was something different. I didn't immediately call the company or the local police. I only stopped when I had enough signal to file a basic report without mentioning every detail I had seen. I explained about suspicious activity and a gate being closed without authorization. I didn't describe the boxes or the faces. Some information needs to be delivered carefully. What became clear to me was that this wasn't an improvised operation. It was a structured operation with a controlled gate, positioned vehicles, and a silent transfer of goods. I had parked in the middle of something that was already underway, and I was noticed before I could leave without leaving a trace. Since that night, I haven't entered an isolated courtyard without confirming official activity through multiple sources. It doesn't matter what the schedule says. It doesn't matter how urgent the delivery is. The road teaches you quickly when you survive a wrong decision, and I barely survived. My name is Caleb Turner, and if there's one thing I've learned in the desert, it's that isolation doesn't mean safety. Sometimes it means the exact opposite. If you made it this far, hit like and let me know which story stuck with you the most. Also, drop a comment telling me where you're listening from and what time it is there right now. That kind of interaction helps YouTube push these stories to more people. If you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next ones. Thanks for listening. Drive safe.
There are two Democrats running for Senate in Texas, but Jasmine Crockett is the only one being backed by Republicans.
She is their favorite candidate because they think that they can beat her.
So with all that's at stake, remember this: if she wins, we lose.
On the Border's bringing flavor to the next level. Fresh guacamole, sizzling fajitas, and all your Tex-Mex favorites, packed with fresh ingredients and bursting with flavor. So grab your crew and we'll see you soon. On the Border, come enjoy the bold difference today.
When I drove away, police informed me later that night that the gas station I was at was not in service for at least a decade. Other than that, though, nothing else came of it. And what would have happened if I didn't get out in time is left to nothing but theories. This was about 10 months ago now. I was spending a few days with my best friend from college in his hometown. I'll call him Chris for privacy. It was a really small town from what I was used to, but Chris was showing me around and we went to the bars and just hung out and had a good time. On my last night there, he mentioned a place he'd been wanting to explore for a while, but hadn't had anyone to go with. It was some abandoned house or a town he knew of, a few miles out in the woods. We used to go exploring and backpacking all the time in college, so it sounded like a pretty cool idea. Only 30 minutes after hearing about it, we were already trekking through a path in the woods. We still had some sunlight left, but we brought headlamps just in case. About 20 minutes of walking, the trail ended and we had to follow a very faint footpath through the trees. It went on for another hour before we made it. We could see a house out in the distance, and as we got closer, we could see several more behind it. It wasn't what either of us expected, though. The houses didn't really look that old. They looked weathered and heavily damaged, but had modern siding and stuff like that made them look kind of like any other house. There was even a tiny gravel road leading from each of the homes. It looked like maybe they were trying to build a community and something went wrong, causing them to abandon it. Other people had been there before us, though, evident by the graffiti on the sides of the houses. Chris and I went up to the first house, looking through the open doorway. There were weeds growing through the floorboards, but it was otherwise empty. Before we stepped in, though, a loud slamming sound echoed through the woods. Both of us jumped and stared down the gravel road that we thought it came from. After that sound, though, it was quiet. We had no idea what it was, but after seeing nothing, we went inside the house. There wasn't too much to look at, but what made it so interesting was trying to figure out why anyone would abandon it. The house looked like it would have been nice before it was left behind. After walking around the first floor, we went upstairs to the second. Oddly, it got way darker upstairs, like no windows were letting in any light. The hallway was short, with only 2 doors, and what looked like an attic in the ceiling. We went up to the first door and opened it, seeing another empty room. But we were quickly interrupted by hearing something downstairs. There were shuffling footsteps coming through the grass and up to the house we were in. We stayed quiet, but we were sure that whoever they were had probably seen us outside. But why would they try to approach us? They walked up to the front doorway, then stopped just before they entered. Hello? We didn't respond. I just want to talk. No harm at all. He sounded older, and almost like he was missing teeth or something, stumbling a bit over his words. After that, though, there was a whole minute of silence. He didn't say anything else, but we didn't hear him leave either. We waited another few minutes, still not hearing anything, before Chris quietly went down the staircase and looked over at the front door. He turned and looked back at me with a pale face. There's nobody there. I quickly went to see for myself, but he wasn't lying. He was nowhere in the doorway. We carefully made our way down and over to the doorway. Looking out, there was one line of footprints in the grass coming from where the other houses were, but no footprints leaving. Both of us figured it out at the same time and bolted for the trees, knowing the guy must have been hiding inside the house somehow. We got out of the woods as fast as we could and went back to his place. Who that guy was and why he wanted to talk to us, we don't know. I'm sure if he found us, though, we probably wouldn't be here. I was backpacking through a route I found in the Cascades National Park. It was an out and back trail that typically takes 3 days one way and 3 days back. I didn't know too much about it or how popular of a trail it was, but when doing these long backpacking routes, it usually doesn't matter because you'll most likely not run into many people anyway. On my 3rd day out, though, I passed by one of the campsites and saw a man sitting by his tent. I took a break and we talked for a bit, where he mentioned he was staying there for the night and heading to the peak of the trail on the following day. I told him that that's where I was heading today and that I'll probably see him when he gets there. I left shortly after and got to what would be my campsite for the next 2 nights. The view was something I'd never experienced before and made for a great rest day and peak of the trail. For that whole day, nobody passed through, and when it came to night, I was still the only one camping there. I thought back to that guy I met at the campsite the day behind me, who said he'd be reaching this trail peak on this day. He never showed up, though. I thought he maybe decided to turn around for some reason, or just camp out for another day at the place he was already at. In the morning, I packed up and started back down the way I came, though I got a late start, so at the very least, I was hoping to make it to that same campsite the man was at. I was really sore for some reason, too, which didn't help, and before I knew it, there was almost no daylight left. I put on my headlamp and continued on the trail, walking for another hour past sundown before I made it to the camp. The tent that the man had was still there, set up like he never left. Knowing his plans to continue hiking, and just knowing that staying at one camp for several days while backpacking is unusual, I called out, asking if he was okay. There was no response. I walked up a bit closer and said I just wanted to check in on him, but the flap on his tent was partially open and nobody was inside. I felt a lump in my throat, like my body knew something wasn't right. I stood and looked all around, not seeing a single sign of him anywhere, until I saw a glimmer in the distance. There was a faint light sitting still far out in the woods. I began walking up to it, going about 40 yards from the tents before I found the source. It was a headlamp laying on the ground like it had been accidentally left behind, and the light was so dim that it must have been nearly out of batteries. And it was just then that I noticed someone watching me. They were standing not too far, just 10 yards away, and clearly trying to not be seen. I knew in my gut that this wasn't the man from before, but I felt like I had to say or do something. Hello? Do you need help? They stood still and quiet. I'm sorry. I'll leave, I said shakily, then hurried back to the tent. Luckily, I hadn't unpacked anything yet, so I put my backpack on and started walking out of the campsite. As I did, the headlamp in the woods turned off. I got away and walked as far as I could, going another 3 miles to the next camp. I reported it as soon as I could as well, and unfortunately, it was just what I thought it was. The man that I had met was missing. There is almost no traces for them to follow, and out in the backcountry, it's nearly impossible to search for anyone. Who that person I saw out there was is likely the biggest unknown that could give us answers as to what happened, though it seems like most of us are aware of the most probable scenario that took place. I had booked an Airbnb several weeks in advance in a town I'd never been to. A client I was meeting for work lived in the area, so I was only staying there for a day and then driving back home afterward. The drive was 3 hours, and when I pulled into the driveway and got out, the neighborhood it was in was very quiet. Most of the houses' lights were off, and trees covered the lawns, blocking out most of the view. The only thing I really saw was a person walking down the road. They were far down, and nothing really looked off about it, but for some reason it just gave me a strange feeling. I went up and unlocked the door, going inside and situating myself. It was a very average house, nothing really special about it, but was great for what I needed it for. After making my rounds and checking the place out, I opened the front door to get my other bag from my car. As I stepped onto the porch, though, I noticed someone standing in the road. It was the person I'd seen walking a few minutes ago, but they weren't walking anymore. They were just standing in the road and facing the Airbnbs. As I started walking toward my car, they noticed me and started walking away. I kept my eye on them while I was out there, getting suspicious about whatever that was. They seemed to just keep walking, though, continuing down the street. I went back inside and made sure it was all locked up, then opened the garage and pulled my car in, just to be safe. Throughout the next couple hours, I did a few checks outside to see if that guy was still walking around. I didn't see him anymore, though, and having to get up early the next morning, I went to bed. I slept decently, waking up a few times during the night, but my alarm went off at 4 a.m. for me to finally get up. The sun was still down, so it was still dark outside, but I groggily sat up in my bed and right away saw a light coming under the bedroom door. I didn't remember leaving any lights on, though I thought I somehow must have just overlooked a kitchen light or something. I got out of bed and walked up to the door, but just before I opened it, I heard something on the other side. It sounded like something moving around at the end of the hallway. I opened the door, seeing it was the living room light that was on, which I immediately knew I definitely would have turned off. The sound continued, though, as I walked down the hallway and looked into the living room. A guy was in the corner, searching through one of my bags. He had a black hoodie and ripped up jeans, which was exactly what the person I saw walking around wearing. I only looked at them for a second before they turned around and faced me. He didn't look startled at all. It was almost like he was expecting me. He dropped the bag on the ground and yelled at me to stay where I was. He began making his way over, and I only had a split second to decide what to do. I turned and ran back to the room, slamming the door shut just before he caught up to me. He rammed into it and tried to kick the door down, then started messing with the lock on the other side. I thought quickly and opened a window, jumping out and running away. By the time I was able to get police there, the man wasn't in the house anymore. My bags were gone too, of course. And to make things more terrifying, the bedroom door was opened. He had picked the lock and gotten in, so if I had just stayed and hid in the bathroom or something, who knows what would have happened. Police seem to think there was more intent behind this man's actions, aside from just robbing me. So I pray he doesn't find me again. Earlier this spring, I was camping in the woods 4 hours north of where I live. There was a small lake that I'd go to a lot. It was never crowded or even really known about, I don't think, so it made for a nice peaceful getaway every time I went. When I got there on the first day and set everything up, nobody else was there. The lake wasn't too big. It was surrounded by a grassy beach with the woods around it, so I could see pretty much all around the lake. Not too long after I arrived, I saw a man come out of the woods on the other side and set up a tent. He looked like an average camper who was keeping to himself for the first little while. Before sundown, though, I saw him making his way around the lake and over toward my campsite. He had a friendly smile and introduced himself as William. He said he wasn't sure if I saw him set up camp or not, but he saw me across the lake and just wanted to say hi, since we were both out in the middle of nowhere at a lake that nobody usually comes to. We talked for a while, and he was really cool, actually. William was 26, which was around the same age as me, and we both liked this camping spot because of how secluded it was. After talking for 30 minutes, he went back to the other side of the lake as the sun was coming down. Not much else happened that night, but in the morning, we ended up talking and hanging out for most of the day. He shared a 6-pack of beers with me, and we sat on the beach and had some good casual conversations. When we went back to our tents at the end of the day, I was sitting by my small campfire and was really happy I'd met William. He seemed like the perfect buddy to go camping with, maybe some other time. As it got later, though, I started getting ready to stomp out the fire and go to bed when I saw William walking around the lake. His campfire had gone out a while ago, so I thought he was in his tent already sleeping, but apparently not. He walked up to my campfire, and right away, something was different about him. "Hey, everything good, man?" I said. He smiled and was suddenly back to how he was before, but he said he came over to ask if I wanted to see a cool spot he found that had a great view. I said it was kind of late to be going out, but he assured me that the view was great because it was dark out. The way he was hyping it up made me feel like I couldn't not see it. And what would be the point in camping out in the woods if I just passed up the good views? I got up and followed him to the other side of the lake, then trailed behind him as he led us through the woods. There was no path or anything, so I pretty quickly knew that whatever spot this was, William had to have been there many times before to know the exact way without getting lost, especially out in the dark. We walked for maybe 15 minutes before William started slowing down. He pointed ahead and smiled like this was the view, but when I walked in front of him and looked out, there was a small structure. It was an old RV or camper that looked like it had been abandoned and succumbed to the elements for years. Moss grew all over it, and holes of rust covered the siding. I turned back to look at William, wondering what this was, but his face was now cold and empty. He looked like he was a different person. "William, what is this?" He didn't answer. Feeling a rush of fear, I started frantically looking around, and that's when I heard the rusty metal door swing open behind me. I only saw for a quick second as someone else came running out before I started sprinting away. I could hear both William and the other person following close behind, but I gave my every strength to keep going until I lost them. By then, I'd run so far into the woods that I had no idea where I was. I just kept walking and keeping my eyes on the trees until the sun came up. By the time I found my way back to the lake, I saw from the tree line that all of my camping gear was gone. It looked as if I was never even there. I stayed hidden and got back on the trail, making it back to my car. I made a report with the local police, but they never mentioned finding anything. I don't think they even really looked, to be honest. What was planned for me that night is horrifying to think about, but at least I got out before having to witness it firsthand.
Genius, I need a financial plan.
May have your new budget and financial planning ready.
I just moved. Why is this so high?
Found a lower plan. You save $35 a month. Switch now.
Yes. And finding the espresso machine under 300. Done. And transfer 300 from my savings to my checking.
Done.
Done.
I was on a road trip from Portland to Chicago. It's nearly a 3-day drive, so I had some places booked to sleep at along the route. I didn't get too particular with what places I chose, but I went with Airbnbs so I could at least enjoy the road trip a bit more rather than staying in a crowded hotel. My first Airbnb was in Wyoming, and the route through the state doesn't pass through any big cities really, so it was in a really small town. It was probably no bigger than 2 or 3 miles long. As I passed the border into Wyoming, it started snowing heavily, only dragging on the long day of driving. By the time I got into town, the roads were covered in snow, and the sun had already set. It was pretty dead, though. I mean, I don't know much about small towns, but this seemed exactly how I thought it would be, especially in a low-population state like Wyoming. I was hoping there would be a McDonald's or something that I could get a quick dinner from, but it was very clear that there wasn't going to be. So I drove through the town and turned down the road to my Airbnb. It was a long driveway leading up to a small home in the middle of a field with tall, snow-covered pine trees lined up in the front yard. I parked on the side and got out with my bag, then walked around to the front. I put in the code and got inside, closing the door behind me and turning on the lights. It was small, probably 500 square feet, with just a living room and bedroom. I took my shoes off and dropped my bag next to the bed, then sat on the couch. When I did, a thump came from the bedroom. I looked back at the doorway I had just come from. It was pretty loud, but I had no idea what it could have been. I got up and walked back, looking into the room and turning on the lights. It was all the same. I went and checked the small bathroom that was in there as well, but it all looked good, and the only other door in the house was the bedroom closet. I walked over and tugged on the door handle, but it didn't budge. It seemed like it was locked from the other side. At first, I was pretty weirded out that a bedroom closet would be kept shut, but then I thought it could have been a maintenance closet the owner was storing stuff in. There were no other places to put anything, so that was the final conclusion I came to. I went back to the living room and rested my eyes on the couch while thinking through my plan for the next day. After 15 minutes, I got back up and went over to the window, looking out to see if the snow was still coming down and if the roads were even going to be drivable tomorrow. It was eerily dark outside, with no lights from the town showing behind the tall pine trees, and it was still snowing heavily. I shut the blinds and turned back to the couch, but I saw a shadow move in the bedroom. It was slow and smooth, like the shadow to a door opening or closing. I started walking over, listening as I approached the doorway and looked inside the room. Everything was in place, and nothing looked to have caused the shadow I saw, but I knew I saw something move in there. I continued looking around until my eyes fell back on the closet. It was still closed, but something gave me an unsettling feeling about it. I stepped up and grabbed the handle, and it opened with ease. It wasn't locked anymore. But inside, there wasn't anything. It was just a small and empty walk-in closet. Before I could fully process everything and try to put the pieces together, I heard heard someone behind me. When I turned around, a large man was standing in the doorway to the bathroom. He looked beaten and tired, having scratches and cuts all over his face. And as I stared at him, he didn't even seem to care. He stepped into the bedroom and kneeled down, grabbing a dirty and worn duffel bag from under the bed. The man then stood back up and didn't even look at me as he slowly walked out of the room and out the front door. I ran up and saw him trailing through the snow until he was beyond the lights from the house. I tried to get police involved, but after giving my description, they really only talked to the Airbnb host. After leaving town, I didn't get any more information. I think it's most likely that he was just using the place to sleep or something, but the way he looked makes me second guess that. I just can't even think of what could have happened if I went right to bed that night with the man hiding in the closet just inches away from me. This was a few months ago while driving for DoorDash. I only drive as a side gig, maybe 10 to 15 hours a week. This night I was only doing a couple orders since it was already late, and I had picked up a small order around 1 a.m. It was to be delivered to a business building somewhere across town, which was apparent by the address. This was a normal thing, usually for overnight workers or whatever. When I pulled into the parking lot, though, it was empty. No cars at all, and it didn't look like there was a parking lot behind the building either. I parked in a spot near the front, got out with the food. The place was definitely an office building of some kind. It was smaller than most, being only 2 stories, and not very wide. All the lights were off in the windows, though, aside from one light behind the front door. I walked up to the door and checked the app, seeing it had specific drop-off instructions to enter the main hallway and leave the bag outside of room 232. I looked through the door in the building, seeing this hallway with a bunch of closed doors on either side. Delivering to specific rooms I'd only done at hotels, so this was kind of new for me. I tested the door, pushing on it, and it was unlocked, so I stepped inside. I expected to hear people working, moving around, or talking, but instead didn't hear anything. There wasn't a single sound in the whole building. It was just white noise from the overhead lights buzzing above me. As I passed the first few doors, though, they were all numbers in the 100s, like 102 and 106. The room the instructions said to leave it at was in the 200s, so I assumed that meant it was on the 2nd floor. In the middle of the hallway was the doorway leading to the staircase. It was held open with a wedge door stopper on the floor, but the lights weren't on. I stepped in and up to the bottom of the staircase, then looked up. The whole stairwell was pitch black. Not even any light was coming from above where the room was supposed to be for me to drop it off at. Again, I started to notice the eerie silence, and it sent a chill through me. I was always one to do whatever the instructions say, so I get good reviews, but this was the first time I told myself that this was too sketchy. I stepped out of the stairwell and back into the hallway, and just as I did, the door right across from me opened. The lights in that room were off, but a man emerged from behind the door and stepped into the hallway. He was wearing street clothes and just didn't look like an office worker at all. But he stood in front of me and pointed past me at the stairwell. 232 is up there. I nodded, but didn't move, and neither did he. He just looked me in the eyes with a look like he was suppressing his anger. After an intense few seconds, I dropped the bag on the ground and started quickly walking to the exit. The man didn't follow me, but I heard his footsteps go into the stairwell and up the stairs as I left the building. I got in my car and left. I didn't know what that was, or if I was maybe overreacting about it, so I didn't call the police. The following day, though, the police actually called me. Apparently, the office reported a break-in, and in the CCTV footage, they saw my car and license plate, tracking it back to me. They also had footage of the break-in, and so they called me in to question me about any information I might have. I didn't have much to give, but it turned out there were actually 3 people that broke inside. One was downstairs, who I saw, but the other 2 were shown on the cameras to be hiding at the top of the stairs, seemingly waiting for me to go up. Disturbingly, several other delivery orders were made to that same office that night. All of the other drivers were smarter than I was, though, leaving the orders outside by the front door. What would have taken place in that office had any of us gone up to the second floor is unknown, but hopefully police can find the 3 men before anyone falls victim to it.
At Strayer, you can earn your degree affordably with access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses.
Feeling healthy by leaps and bounds. Making a dinner that makes them full day and giving your best friend the best nutrients for their best life. Science did that.
The dog is trying to do something. Fresh flavor, gourmet variety, and roasting too. Now serving the treats. Your dog's only ticket to coming in hot. But why stop there? Bones off, high protein toppings, and low calorie, nutrient packed drizzle, all at an affordable price. Now that's a game changer. At Jinx, we've got the makings of the best bowl. That's right.
My wife and I take yearly vacations to different places. It's our way of taking a break from regular everyday life, as well as getting to spend some quality time together. This year, we had a cabin booked in Washington State. It was far out and described online as being quiet and peaceful, away from any other places or people. Most of our life is in crowded cities, so this sounded great for us. When we flew in, we walked to a grocery store to pick up what we needed, then took a taxi out to the cabin. We didn't rent a car because we knew we'd only be there for 3 days, so we wanted to spend it just at the cabin. And if we changed our minds or needed anything else, we could always just order an Uber. The taxi ride was just over an hour from the town we landed in. Most of the drive was between huge mountain ranges and tree-covered landscape. It was really beautiful and got us both excited for our stay. Then at just about 7 p.m., we arrived at the cabin. It was completely alone in the middle of the forest. Even the driveway leading to it wasn't much more than some tire tracks in the dirt. We got out and paid the taxi, then brought our stuff inside. The cabin itself was small. There was the main floor that had the kitchen and living room with a ladder leading up to a loft area that had the bed in it. The bed area on the loft was short though. You literally had to crawl into the bed, kind of like one you'd see in a tiny home. Anyway, we unpacked the groceries and made a very quick dinner since we were tired from the flight. Then we opened a bottle of wine to settle in for the night. We lit up the fireplace and chatted about how we were looking forward to the next few days. It was around 11 p.m. at this point, and as we talked, we both suddenly heard something outside. Someone was walking in the grass near the cabin. It was loud, too, like they were really close. My wife looked nervous, so I tried to put a brave face on and told her it was fine. I got up and looked out the window. It wasn't until then that I realized how dark it had gotten outside. I looked around, seeing nothing but large trees everywhere and pitch black darkness around them. I told her I didn't see anyone, then went over to the front door and opened it, stepping onto the porch and turning on the outdoor lights. All I could really see out there was a small portion of the driveway, but I didn't see anyone there either. The forest was very calm and quiet, too, so if they were still walking around, I felt like I would have been able to hear them. I went back inside and asked my wife if she heard the footsteps anymore, but she said the sound didn't seem to fade out. It just stopped suddenly from somewhere behind the cabin. My brave act was starting to fall through, and I told her to go up to the loft and stay quiet while I figured out what was going on. I went around and checked all the windows again, not seeing anything, so I went back to the front door. I was preparing myself to go back outside when a sudden thump shook the cabin. I looked up at my wife, who was looking up at the ceiling. Someone was on the roof of the cabin. I stayed inside and called the police, going over lengthy directions on how to get to the cabin we were at. Over the course of the hour that we had to wait, we could occasionally hear a few footsteps walking across the top of the cabin. About 45 minutes into the wait, though, we heard their boots hit the ground, followed by them calmly walking away. I looked out the window once more, seeing their outline disappearing into the forest. Police took our report and gave us a ride into town, where we spent the rest of our vacation. What that person was doing, miles away from civilization, in the middle of a forest, is terrifying. Seeing as they were likely waiting for us to either go to bed or go outside, we're just thankful that we got out of there before something else could have happened. I've owned and lived in the same house for 8 years. It's a normal family-sized home, which was relevant when I had roommates. But when they moved out, and it just became me living here, I had nothing to do with the extra space. It was technically a 4-bedroom house, but I only used 2 of the bedrooms. One is my main bedroom, and one is the gaming room. The other 2 rooms were on the far end of the upstairs hallway. One had a few storage boxes in it, and the other was completely empty. After getting out of work at 9, I picked up Wendy's on the way home and pretty much went right to the game room. I was off tomorrow, so what better to do than game all night? I put my headphones on and loaded up COD, but before I had time to even load into a match, I thought I heard something that sounded like a knock at the front door. I took my headset off and listened, but not hearing anything and figuring they would have knocked again if there was someone there, I went back to my game. Probably a whole 2 hours went by, and then I heard it again. It sounded like either a knock or a door closing or something like that. But with my headphones on and with my room door closed, it was way too quiet for me to tell. I got up and opened the door, looking out into the hallway and waiting for that sound to come again. After a minute, though, I went downstairs and looked out the front door. Nobody was outside my house, and everything seemed normal. Having been hearing these sounds, though, I obviously made sure the door was locked before going back upstairs. To be a bit more cautious, I left my room door open this time, so if it happened again, maybe I'd hear it better. I put my headset back on and continued gaming. I played through a whole round, so like 20-ish minutes. As the game ended, and I leaned back in my chair, a figure rushed past the open doorway just off to the side of my view. I immediately threw my headphones off and jumped from my chair. Horrified and unsure what to do, I just stared at the doorway. I didn't get the courage to finally move for several minutes. When I looked into the hallway, though, and eventually the rest of the house, nobody was there. But the front door was unlocked again. When police came and investigated, it was clear that the person had been hiding and very likely living in the empty room. I hadn't been in there for weeks, or maybe even months, so all this time, they could have been just on the other side of the wall from me, and I had no idea. It's really scary to think about, especially if I'd happened to confront him. There's no saying what he would have done.